On one bright day like today, our 2015 campaign plane landed at Bauchi Airport. I looked through the window and saw a sea of people at the tarmac. It was the same panoramic view that I see in front of this Queen Amina Hall today. It was a common sight in those days, but this one was quite different. As the plane taxied to a stop, the crowd surged towards it. They got right onto the runway. Security men and women tried to stop the crowd, but gave up at some point. The security personnel ran towards the plane too. From the window of the aircraft, I took a deep look at the crowd. Some barefooted, some well-dressed, as if it was Salah day. Some young, some old, some rich, some poor. A look at many in the crowd showed people who have a tough life. Yet, the enthusiasm on their faces, the fashion in their steps, the gesture of their chants, "Say Buhari," touched my heart. I said right there, before I got off the plane, that if I win the election, I will come back to those people that I saw. I will find them across northern Nigeria and I will make a deal with them. It had taken over 5 years now. I am sorry that that it took that long, but I am here today to make a deal with you all. I have asked parents, old and young, men and women, young children, boys and girls, everyone of you who shared the hope to change that we promised to come out here today. I chose this backdrop, the Queen Amina Hall, inside of Ahmadu Bello University, to illustrate the point I want to make. I want those of you who have never been inside the four walls of university to come here in this institution. I want you to come in front of this hall named after an extraordinary woman who was trailblazer in our history, a woman who defied all the odds and wrote her name in marble. I want to invoke Queen Amina, who was not just a leader by accident, but one who was also schooled. She fought her way to the top. She was the epitome of the deal that I envision. I want to make things better for you, for us, but I realize that the greatest change there is the one that we all, each of us, can make in ourselves. In 2019, WAEC, no state in the north made it on the top 10 performing state in the examination. Of the 10 states at the bottom, 9 in the north, in the common entrance examination into unity schools in Nigeria, the statistics is such there. In 2008 and 2019 session, while the cut-off mark for a male student from Anambra State is 139 and Oyo State 127 out of 300, The cut-off mark for a male pupil from Yobe State is 2 points, and a male pupil from Zamfara State is 4 points. The trend has been like this in the last 30 years. Lowering standards has not helped the North bridge the gap or improve performance. Instead, it has perpetuated poor performance and lower standard. Looking at the population of young people in these regions, these poor figures for the North are unacceptable. We need to change that together. It should not be like this in the next 30 years. We can reverse it. The speed with which our people formed Shege Kafasa in response to Southwest Amotikun, if we had applied that same fashion to education, we wouldn't have remained backward and disadvantaged for the last 30 years. To all the parents out here and those watching at home, I want you to bring your children to me. I want you to get them off the farm, off the streets, off the business of life, and bring them to me. Leave them with me for 12 years, just 12 years. From the time they are 6 to the time they are 18, and I will turn them into what my children have become, what Atiku's children have become, what Entata's children have become, what Shagari's children has become. My daughter just made first class in photography from the prestigious London University. Your daughters could do the same. I am proposing a paradigm shift for us all, for a democratic society to sincerely demand personal responsibility. It must first deliver to the people the minimal educational development. It is a fundamental exchange needed for the creation of a fair and equal society. I want your children to be educated like my children, like Atiku's children, like Shagari's children, like Senusi's children. I want your children to stop coming to the table of the Entata, the Shagaris, and the Umas, the Buharis, to be given food to eat. I want your children to sit on the same boardroom with our children, be in the same university campus with our children, to work in the same laboratory, to manage the same hospitals as doctors, to design the same roads as engineers, and fly the same airplanes as pilots. I want them to go as far as their brains can take them. I want them to go to the best schools all over the world, from Zaria to Zambia, from London to Moscow, from New Delhi to New York. In 30 years, I want to have equal number of children from the northern Nigeria competing on equal footing, JAMB and WAEC and Cambridge examinations, in entrance examinations to federal government schools across Nigeria. This is why it is important. The best investment we can make in the north is not in finding oil in the Chad Basin. It is not in mining gold in Zamfara. It is in investing in the potentials of our children. And so it is that the greatest security we can provide for our society is equality of opportunity. It starts with equality of education. Equality of education guarantees equal access to knowledge. Knowledge, you know, is not just power. Knowledge is also health. It is also wealth. It is also an antidote to ignorance.
The North does not change. The North will destroy itself. The country is moving on.
I charge you to join me as we build a new northern Nigeria in a generation. We will start with one local government in each state until we get to every school in all of northern Nigeria. Our goal is that in 3 years from today, there will be a free and compulsory primary and secondary school education for all children across northern Nigeria from the ages of 6 to 18. We will field your children. We will provide them books and pencils and desks and dresses and anything they need to go to school. We will find new teachers to teach them and retrain and retain the ones we have now. We will build the new schools where they will learn and repair the ones we have now. All that we want you to do as parents is to free your children, free them and watch them fly. Free them for 6 hours of every weekend, and we will do the rest. While we adore the ways of the past, tomorrow runs on new tools. We need to acquire these new tools to be able to propel tomorrow. The empires of today are not the type of forefathers built with arrows, guns and enslavement. Empires that need to be protected with high walls. The empires of today are the type Aliko Dangote builds with knowledge and information from the mountains of Tanzania to the Sahel of Senegal. If such ventures have been good to Dangote, they will also be good to your own children. Amfanin hankali aiki da shi. For long, your leaders have pointed at some other places and some other people as those responsible for your challenging lives. We did it to cover up our own failures, to lift you up the way we lifted our own children. We did it to protect ourselves from being at the receiving end of your wrath. But we should have known that our long-term fate depends on you. The people are not just in giving our children the best that the world has. Now we are ready to make amends. It took me a long time to realize the only way to preserve our society, our cherished history and heritage, is to secure an educated and informed citizenry. Those who are not hooked to the tap of knowledge find themselves deep in the valley of ignorance. We have to tell ourselves the truth. It starts from here. Our leaders may have enriched themselves, but they have impoverished millions more in the process. We must stop forthwith our tendency to confuse the personal interests of our leaders with our collective interest. No, they are not the same. As the wise one said, what others did to us are so much, but what we did to ourselves are much more. I ask that you trust me on this mission. By lifting your children, our children, we will lift up our society. By giving them education, we will be making them competitive. They will go to the moon and back, exploring and tolerating of the different world out there. But most importantly, by pulling them up, we will maximize the potentials that I know are in them. To this end, I have secured a Northern Rehabilitation Fund approved by the National Assembly. It is part of our efforts to rebuild the North after the devastation of Boko Haram insurgency. I have also consulted our partners in private sector to team up with us in putting the necessary resources needed for this mission to be a success. They have signed on this mission and have donated their time and billions of naira to make this happen. They are here with me in show of commitment to you. The Muslims that will inherit the 21st century world is not the ones that can only read Arabic or recite the Quran, but the ones like my daughter and my son, who can be at home in Dubai and at home in London and at home in New Delhi. So please join me as we unleash the promises currently locked up in all our children. There is no injustice worse than wasting the God-given potentials of our children. Join me, my brothers and sisters, and let us finish the work our forefathers, Ahmadu Bello, started. Hana wani hana kai. If one refuses another, one refuses himself. Thank you for listening. God bless you. God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Have Your Say 247. This is a show for you. It's an opportunity for you to have your say on all the issues going on across Nigeria. Today, there are so many issues in the news. We are 10 days away from the primaries of all the political parties. They have to announce their candidate for president by June 3rd, according to INEC. So for today's show, we are going to discuss all those things. Who are the candidates who are likely going to be the candidate of these political parties? We want you to join us. And we posted our link to some of the where you can watch us and where you can join us if you want to be part of this conversation. So if you want to be part of the conversation, you can join us in the studio and we will bring you up and join the conversation. When we are planning today's show, we didn't know that there will be, we knew, but we didn't know it to be widespread. The 1 million man march for Peter Obi, and we will show you some of the scenes in some parts of the country today, and then we'll be right back.
Nigeria they cry. Give us Obi. You need Obi. PDP. Better Nigeria. We need Obi. Give us Obi. We need Obi. Give us Obi. PDP. Give us Obi. We need Obi. For better Nigeria. You need Obi. Women need Obi. Give us Obi. Give us Obi. Peter Obi. We want Obi. We want Obi. We want Obi. The man for the job. For better Nigeria. For economy. For employment. For agriculture. Give us Obi. We need Obi. We don't need money. Give us Obi. We don't need whatever. Give us Obi. Obi. Give us Obi. Obi.
Those boys can't come here.
They can't come here, buddy.
There's a serious problem here at barracks, Ojo barracks. These Hausa people and Fulani men on bike has taking control of the road and block the whole axis going and coming. It's not possible.
Also, this week there was the Okada conflict in Lagos, where Okada riders had a conflict with the police. It started when they killed a sound engineer last week at vacation. That led to a ban on Okada by the Lagos state government that is going to take effect from June 1. So there are so many things to talk about. We want to talk about the primaries. We also want to talk about the situation with the Okada. And in Kano State, there was an explosion that happened, and it's still controversial. There are discussions about if it was an explosion or if it was an accident. It was. Let me play you some of the reactions from that, which I found very interesting.
And I want you to pass this information across the way I'm telling you now. It was not gas explosion. It was a suicide bomber. We saw him. So that is a fact. But God intervened.
After our assembly in the morning, I was in a class teaching the students, and all of a sudden we heard a sound. And on reaching here, we saw the explosion and some dead bodies around. And what we are hearing in the news now, that the government are saying is a gas explosion, while what we saw and the sound we hear is a bomb blast sound. As an engineering student, I know what is gas and I know what is bomb explosion. So I don't see the reason why the government will be telling us that this is a gas explosion where we know the truth. So I don't know if they are trying to cover their shame or trying to cover their insecurity in the state.
All right. We're going to start the conversation. Right now we have someone joining us. Let me bring him on the show. And Attorney Amadi, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just watching. Where I am, I will not be able to say anything.
Oh, okay. You want to watch? All right. So if you want to watch, I recommend that you go to Facebook. We posted the link on. You can go to Facebook or you can go to YouTube. We want people in the studio to be people who are interested in participating, so that because we have a limited number of people that will be in the studio. So if you want to participate, you stay in the studio. But if you want to watch, you can watch on Facebook, or you can watch on you can watch on Twitter. You can watch on YouTube. But we want to make it free because very soon there will be a lot of people in the studio and they will need space to. But thank you so much for joining us. Okay.
Thank you. Let me just.
All right. Okay, so there are so many subjects to deal with. Of course, we are still dealing with the aftermath of the killing of the students at Shehu Shagari College of Education in Sokoto. Is something that has continued to reverberate. So we'll get to all those things. But first of all, let's get Mark Eze just joining us. Mark Eze, welcome to the show. Please, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay, thank you, Rudolph.
Okay, good. Nice to see you. You are in Minnesota, is it?
Correct.
Okay, good. So, what is your take on our topic of today? What brought you to the show? Which of the topics? There are so many things to talk about.
Well, I would say I'm more interested in the 2023 presidential election.
Okay, good. So tell us who are you supporting? What do you think about the election?
Well, I don't have anybody that I'm currently supporting because the political atmosphere in Nigeria does not call for me to support anybody. However, I'm in support of a southern presidential candidate from the east. This is for equity, for justice, and for peace. They've been marginalized. And I think the East, they deserve to produce the next president in 2023 if Nigeria wants to become one, because there's a lot of injustice, there's a lot of marginalization, and
let me ask you, why can't they compete like everybody else to and win the election? What's stopping them?
Well, they're already in the field. They're already in the field competing, but the northern element, are they going to yield? Are they going to allow the fair process to produce a very credible candidate? Because we have them in the East. They won't.
In the last elections, did the other parts of the country, did they yield to the candidate of the North or candidate of the West?
If you look at, let's go back to 1999. There was a cause for the West to produce the president because there was an issue with the June 12th election of acclaimed winner MKO Abiola. So they used that to kind of compensate the West. So now, this is 23 years, about 23 years now, practicing democracy. The East hasn't occupied the first, which is the presidency, and the vice. So this is the time for the East. And now there's agitation for Biafra. If you don't want the East to produce the president, then let the Biafra people go. Let them go. It's as simple as that. And the world is watching. The US is watching. I'm keenly watching because I have a political movement, but I'm just watching to see in the next 1 week. I'm going to start mobilizing people. The world is going to know that, look, there's an injustice in Nigeria, and Nigeria is going to be a time bomb very soon if the world does not intervene to make sure that there's equity and fairness, in all the ethnic tribes that make up Nigeria.
What do you want them to do? What do you want the political leaders to do? To just withdraw for someone from the East to run? Is that what you're looking for?
Well, I'm not saying anybody should withdraw, but for equity, for justice, they should have a consensus candidate that will produce, a candidate from the Southeast region, just like they did in 1999 for Olufalaye and General Olusegun Obasanjo. Those are the two political parties, the PDP and is it AMPP or so. So we want that to emerge. If we can have PDP produce Eastern presidential candidate, APC produce Eastern presidential candidate, then yes, we're talking about one Nigeria.
But people will argue that 1993 is different from 2022. It was a military era transferring power to civilians, and we have practiced democracy for 20-something years. What is stopping anybody from the East from running and winning the election? How do you answer that? You understand? It's not like this is we had a crisis and the country was in a mess, and the military now said, okay, all these political parties, you have to produce this kind. How do you answer that question?
There's crisis now, and that calls for justice. There's crisis. There's Biafra agitation.
Oh, but of course there is Oduduwa agitation for Odua Nation. What would you say? Do you say that is not important?
What I'm saying is that if you look at the news, the Adebanjo has called to support Eastern presidential candidate to emerge as a president in 2023 for equity and justice. So if I'm going to summarize this, it's just for equity and justice. If we say we are one Nigeria, then we must produce somebody from the East to balance the equation.
All right, Mark, stay with us. Let me get Jonaba to join the conversation. Jonaba, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Doctor.
So, John, you obviously, I'm sure you've seen what happened in the last 1 week since we spoke. Even let's start from today. We have people protesting, marching across the country for Peter Obi. What do you think about that movement?
I believe in it's democracy. I think what we should be inspiring for is people to contest in fairness, make their cases to the public, and then make that choice. When it comes to the two major parties in Nigeria, the PDP and APC, they should produce the candidate that they believe it's a politics that they believe that will win for them. Whether it's PDP, whether it's going to be Peter Obi, or it's going to be Atiku, or APC, it's going to be whosoever, whether it's Osinbajo and all of that. But we forgot that the reason why we are in a failed state where we are today is this conversation of power should be rotated from the east to the west to the north. I don't think that is the problem Nigeria is facing. We all can say what we think, or being biased, or think that Igbo man or should be in power, Hausa should not continue, Yoruba should be in power. Does that solve any problem for Nigeria if the rule is not enforced, if the law is not working, if the constitution is just favoring some part of the country? So I think I will go with let the public decide. The party can decide who will represent them during their primaries in the next 10 days, and then we see the candidate the party will present. So protesting about Peter Obi is making the case, is resonating with the people. I think that's why people are going out to protest. But the issue is that even if you bring Jesus Christ to Nigeria today, it's still going to have what you have when the mentality of the people is this way, that it's not about pure leadership, promoting a healthy constitution and in fairness for everybody. That is, oh, it has to be my brother today, it has to be a turn of somebody today. It's not about leadership. This is how Nigerian football team, whether Super Eagle or Golden Eagle, this is how he crashed, because it's about politics. It's not about these people know how to play. If you have 7 or 8 people from one family and they can play soccer very well and represent the whole country, we will come up to say, no, this family, they are doing it too much. Let us roll to another family. Let us be fairness and equity for all. Don't stop the other people to practice and get to the point where they can also play well and be engrafted. But when we zero it about tribal issue, let this person. Let me give you a good example of what is going on in Benue State. Since the beginning of the created Benue State, the governor has been from the thief line.
From where?
From the thief.
Okay.
Till today. And the Doma people say, okay, let there be fairness. So the question is that, as much as I'm not a fan of Samuel or Otum, the current governor, it's the same question. So we just hand over it to Benue people that this is the governor for you, you take it. It's a politics. People should run. People should go and make their case to the people. So they feel that they are being marginalized by the thief. But that is not the case. The case is that the Doma people themselves cannot get themselves together. That even if you and of course the deputy governor always come from the Doma. From the Doma. And you know the funny language they might use recently, he said that it just he said except the current governor die, or any of the governor died, and the vice and the deputy governor from Idoma will become the governor. That is the only way that we can become a a governor.
Okay. Let me ask you, John Abbott. Let's explore this your idea. What are you? Are you Tiv or are you Idoma? Or are you?
I'm a Idoma.
Idoma. Okay. Are you satisfied with how the Idoma people that have been winning the election, how they run Benue State?
No.
No. Okay. And do you think that it's possible for somebody from Idoma to win if they campaign and in an election? Do you think it's possible?
Yes.
Why haven't they won in the last since the democracy returned?
Because they lack unity among themselves.
Okay. So you think that's what's happening across Nigeria?
Yes.
All right. Mark Eze, can you respond to John Abba? You see he's thinking. Hold on, I think you're muted. Hold on. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Well, you see, politics is all about inclusion. So you just give me an example of Idoma people and the Tiv people. So the Tiv has been ruling Benue. So that means there's no inclusion because they don't allow the Idoma people to become governor. That is not politics. Let me give you an instance of America. Do you know how the presidency of Barack Obama united America? Do you know how it united the whole world? And you see how it brought about peace in America, allowing a black man to rule, to become a president of the United States. You know what I mean? So I want to. Do you
no,
see?
Mark, hold on. Who allowed Obama to rule?
It's the political atmosphere that calls for a black president, because they knew that America needed it at that very moment. So Nigeria needs a president from the eastern part of Nigeria. If you want peace, it's very simple. If you want peace in 2023, if you want Nigeria to remain one, Nigeria needs presidency to come from the eastern region, because this is just simple equity and fairness and justice. Okay. Without that, I don't think Nigeria is going to,
Hold on, Mark. If after the primaries, which is happening in 10 days, you have Lawan for APC and you have Atiku for PDP, what will happen?
Well, there's going to be a political movement and there's going to be a lot of uprising. Just watch. Let's watch. Like I stated, I am not trying to encourage violence, but the atmosphere is going to be charged. People are going to protest. There's going to be a sense of, okay, we are no longer part of Nigeria. And the Biafra agitation is going to spring up. The Yorubas too are going to, this is going to unite the Southern Bloc. I'm talking about, it's going to unite the Southern Bloc. But once the two political parties produce a Northern candidate, there's going to be a problem. And I am telling you, because from the security reports, the Fulanis, the Fulanis does not want to leave the power. And Buhari is doing everything to push Atiku to PDP to clinch it and then also produce a Northern candidate. That is the problem.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Just stand by. We are going to continue this conversation. There are people who are commenting. They are saying, things like, why can't somebody from the East run on merit? Why do you have to bring sentiments of tribe and ethnicity? Why do you have to, So let's hear from. We are joined by Kayode. Kayode, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Good morning, Mr.
Before I forgot my thought, though.
Okay.
Nice to see you again after a long absence.
Thanks for joining us. Just hold on, Kayode. Let me hear. John Abba, what's going on?
Okay. I'm trying to know the name of the one that spoke right now before.
Mark. His name is Mark.
Okay, Mark. Theory about Barack Obama coming to the presidency. It is pure politics. He ran for a successful. He ran a successful campaign. People think that was the moment for him, and he become a president. It's not through agitation of black must become a president. That was not what happened. Other blacks have run in the past, and they never go anywhere. So I don't believe that that should be that is the case, or that should be the case in Nigeria as well.
All right. Thank you. Kaide, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rudolph.
Yeah, I know you're joining us from where? Remember, Houston?
Yeah, Houston, Texas.
Okay, Houston, Texas. All right. So, so what is your take on the political environment today in Nigeria? We're 10 days away from knowing who will be the candidate of these major political parties. What's your take?
It's a pity I didn't start with you to know the feelings of other members of the House here. So, but from my own perspective, I don't want to agree with what the other speaker, Mark Eze, said, because Nigerian politics is quite unpredictable. Looking at it from every parameter, anything can happen even on the day of primaries. So don't ever think because of what you read in the papers now or because of what you watch in the TV is going to add up. People are going to spring surprises. You will see a situation where candidates you don't even expect to pull any weight are the ones that are going to, be the major gladiators on that day. You get what I'm trying to say? Because everybody is now aware. The political situation, forget about what you see at campaigns, all these jamborees, people, social media, fantasies. All those things are not the real things when it comes to politics now. There is a lot of fake things that go on in the public, but behind the scene, a lot of realities are happening. So I will just tell everybody here that we should just keep our fingers crossed and don't jump into conclusion yet. Are you with me?
Kaide, I know you have a media outfit. Make your prediction. What do you think will happen? Who will emerge in PDP and who will emerge in the APC?
Well, for me, it's between Atiku. It's between
for
Atiku
PDP.
For PDP. It's between Atiku and the former Uba.
Uba? Who is Uba?
This man from the East that was the former governor.
Of where? Oh, Peter Obi.
Obi, sorry, Peter Obi.
Okay.
So for me, it's going to be between Atiku and Peter Obi because just one thing I took away from what Marcus said, which I think was somehow relevant, is in the area of the fact that the Northern Bloc is not ready to leave the power. And they are doing everything possible. And they know, Buhari's body language has clearly shown us that it's not going with whether Tinubu or whether Osinbajo. People might think that he's favoring or supporting Osinbajo indirectly. But I can tell you point blank, Buhari is a very political person when it comes to playing games. The guy doesn't talk much, but he knows how he plays his game.
Now, come to APC. Who do you think will be the candidate?
Well, with the situation of things now, I want to leave it between still Bola Tinubu and Osinbajo. So that is my prediction for now.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me come to you, Mazam. Welcome to the show. You are muted. Can you unmute yourself, please? Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Rudolph.
Okay, it's nice to see you again.
Thank you. This is political, so I'll talk politically.
Yeah, this is political. Yeah. Go ahead.
For me, like he just said, Atiku and Obi are the strongest contenders in PDP.
That's it.
People like Wike. Wike is a strong contender, but the spread of Wike in Nigeria
is weak.
Is weak, very weak.
What about Saraki?
Oh, yes, Saraki. Saraki is like our people used to say, Kadangaren Bakin Tulu. That is like a lizard that is on top of container. So If you stone him,
wait. You said a lizard on top of what?
On top of a coconut tree.
A water pot. That's this water pot that is made of clay, a clay pot. So if you stone him, you are going to destroy, either you destroy the pot or he falls into the water and and he spoils the water. So in his situation, I don't see much. Wike is going to be a determinant factor for to who becomes the PDP flag bearer.
Yeah.
I expect him to use to politically come in and solve the situation, because Wike has struggled and sponsored PDP for over 8 years. He is the one who has been at the forefront of almost everything. So, and at the moment, I see him, I expect him to support somebody and then say, okay, fine. We know that politics is all about interest. So he should support his interest, because particularly he has offended the North. The North in particular.
What did he do? I don't remember. Can you remind our viewers what he did to offend the North?
As an issue of I think a mosque demolition in one of the makeshift markets, and then also there was a time he declared that Rivers State is a Christian state. So
yeah, but he also donated I think 500, I don't know, one outrageous amount to Sokoto when there was fire in Sokoto State.
Yes, but
wasn't that paid for the scene?
A damage control. So I
like that.
I expect, yes,
damage control mechanism.
Yeah, Wike has done well. I've lived in Rivers State, and I know he is Mr. Project. He can work, but you see, Nigeria needs somebody who can carry everybody along.
Okay, all right, hold on. Okay, let's get Blessing. Blessing, welcome to the show.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, Blessing, tell us where you're joining us from, and we'll go from there.
I'm joining from Enugu.
From Enugu, okay. Blessing is joining us from Enugu. So while all of you are abroad running your mouth, let's hear from someone in Enugu who probably knows a voter who is probably going to vote. Blessing, so what is your take? What's your take on what's going on?
Funny thing is, I'm just coming from a wedding. I passed a very popular square in Enugu called Opera Square, and I saw a poster, a huge billboard of one of the governorship aspirants, but Mr. Batinaji. I didn't know when it escaped from my mouth. The first thing I said was, "This is an old man now." It escaped my mouth, and the next thing that came to my head was Buhari. I'm sorry, but that was the next thing that came to my head. I said, this is the old man that wants to lead Enugu. And I got the usual response. He has something in his head. He's smart. He's industrious. He means well for Enugu. Age is just a number. And I said to the person I was talking to, I said, but the government house is not a retirement home. And same is my sentiment concerning all those who have declared to run. Personally, I have no favorite. They're all the same thing, but if I am to build a criteria for selection, I am telling you without even missing words, age is going to be one of them.
Age will be a criteria. Okay, yeah.
I do not fancy. Yes. Apart from age, I do not think we should place so much emphasis on experience. It has not done us any good. All these career politicians that go from local government councillors to chairman to state house of rep members to governors to senate members, and then they aspire to be president. They are career politicians. They just want to constantly be on the corridors of power, taking and never giving. we place so much emphasis on experience that we give these people enough wings to fly. When you talk, they say, you know the kind of experience he has? He's a seasoned politician. That's the English. He's a seasoned politician. What is he politicking? What is he politicking? Nothing.
All right, Blessing.
He's just been around for far too long doing nothing.
Blessing, we don't have a lot of time. In 10 days, they will announce the candidates, the parties, and it doesn't matter who you are supporting today. If that candidate is not announced in 10 days, then he will just go and wait for appointment as a minister or something. So who do you think should be the candidate for PDP? Not that it matters. You are not a delegate. Who?
It doesn't matter, but if I had the way, I would choose Peter Obi.
What about APC?
Well, if I had to give it to the APC people, the devil, you know, I'll go with Osinbajo.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Stand by. Okay. You continue to come back to you. Ovie has just joined us. Ovie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I don't need to ask you where you are. I know it's maybe a different state. But where are you?
Calling from Virginia.
Virginia. Okay. All right. So Ovie, what is your take on the events of the last 1 week? We last spoke on Saturday.
The last 1 week now. How do I put it? I think the last 1 week has actually changed for me, for what I'm saying, the way I used to presume the presidential election is going to be. What I'm seeing, I think it's going to be 3 ways. We might have a runoff election, which is going to be maybe first time in the history of the country. I said that because of what is happening in Kano State. You know, for a sitting governor to drop his ambition of going for senatorial seat, just to, in a way, persuade, what's his name? Not Konkoso now. No, sorry. The former governor of Kano. Before
Before Konkoso. I know who you're talking about.
Shekarau, yeah.
Just to convince Shekarau not to, decamp to NNPP, but at the end of the day, I think they feel that is going to, a lot of role to play what is going to happen in 2023, because you are not going to just overlook or don't even look their side. That's the NNPP now. What Shekarau, what Konkoso is doing with the party. I think as we speak right now, they are very strong in 12 states. You might say, oh, that's small, but we still have a long way to go. And within the seat of Kano itself, I think about 17 or 16 as members already, gone to the other side, gone to NNPP now. So PDP perpetually is gone in Kano. But now, how does that going to play out in the general election? That is a chunk of PDP that's already left with Konkoso. And with the way things are going, if they not only if they give the ticket to Atiku, the course is clear for me at this moment. If he get the ticket, that will cause a lot of brouhaha too in the party. That will let a lot of people decamp. And the favorite party right now to welcome them is NNPP. And the same thing might likely happen to APC. So I'm seeing a rerun election come 2023. I'm seeing.
Okay, before we get to 2023, who will get the nomination in 10 days?
I'm seeing Atiku for PDP. APC is very dicey, but I think if they are not, just as somebody said, that the Northern still don't want to give up power, and I don't see the reason why they should. I see a Northern president. Aside that, I think Amaechi is on the front of APC ticket on the southern part. So I'm seeing Amaechi on the PPC, Atiku PDP, and let's want to go back to the smaller party. But as I said,
okay. So what happens? What happens to Tinubu in that situation?
Tinubu, I think he will be offered a very juicy deal in APC that will make him stay. He has more to gain if he stays, even if he than if he goes to SDP, let's for instance, because that's what is he going to gain? How is he going to even mobilize the whole Southwest to even be behind in the first place? So I think it's quite a good deal. He will stay.
So you don't think that there is a chance that Lawan could get it in APC?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Because
I don't know. At this point, no, I don't think so.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Let me come back to you, Janaba. So let's go off what Obi has said. Atiku and Amaechi. What do you think would be the consequences of that kind of option for Nigeria?
Are you talking about Amaechi from APC?
Yeah. Atiku from PDP.
What is going to first of all, let me go back to Obi, right?
Yeah, Obi, yeah.
Okay. My good friend from Borno State. What is you understand about the governor of Kano and the chunk of people that have left PDP? Once Atiku win the ticket, Atiku is a good politician, so he will bring them back to the board. We all forgot that the Hausas, whether you call them Hausa Fulani now, they are not answering Hausa Fulani again. After he started their Hausa Fulani, said they are Fulani now. So, but we used to call them Hausa Fulani. They are very good in politics, and before they leave a position, they already have somebody in mind. Yes. And the Southerner and the Westerner doesn't do that. I grew up in the North. I schooled in the North. Let's say any good position, let's say IG of police, Controller General of Custom, all of those things, they don't just leave a position even 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead already planning. That doesn't happen in the north, the southeast, east, west. So the northerners are good politicians. It doesn't matter whether Amaechi win if Amaechi between Amaechi and Atiku, Atiku will flush Amaechi in a second. So forget about that.
Okay, all right, thank you. We have a studio. The studio is full, and we have to rush and get everybody's comment and get people out so that we bring new people and see, make sure everybody can participate. Kayode, what is your take? Atiku and Amaechi, if that is the option we face in 10 days, what do you think will be the reaction?
Well, one thing I want you to know is that, like John Abba said, something that is critical about the Northerners is that they will never sacrifice their son or their people for any outsider. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Forget about what Amaechi has done. Amaechi is a good performer when it comes to delivering on, his assigned responsibilities. He did it as a governor in Rivers State. The signs are still there, and he's still doing it as the minister. To beat Amaechi's record is going to be very, very tough by any minister that is coming in. But what I want you to know, to be brief and to the point, is that when it comes to
all right, sorry.
When it comes to the choice between Amaechi.
Hold on, Kayode, hold on. If you are in the studio, please can you mute yourself? If you're not talking, if you're not the one speaking, please, so that we can. All right, go ahead, Kayode.
So if we are looking at it from Amaechi and Abubakar, what's the name of the guy? Atiku Abubakar. I can point blankly say that Atiku is going to get it, because when it comes to making political decisions, like John Abba said, the Northerners will never sacrifice their children. Even call him a criminal, they say Nambone. Are you with me?
Right.
And this thing is in every section. It's only in Yoruba land or in the Southwest that we don't do that. And that is the major problem we are facing as a people. The Igbos are very united. You can see what is going on in the Southeast.
Wait. Kayode, what's going on in the Southeast that's not going on in the Southwest?
What is going on in the Southeast is that they are politically united. The only problem they have is that they always, they are sentimental, maybe when it comes to making their choice of presenting a candidate. And it's just because of their background or their structure. You understand? If they can come up with a strong political movement, I trust Igbos are very good in mobilizing themselves and getting whatever they want.
So you said they are united. Wait, hold on, Kaide. You said they are united around which candidates? Because there are more than 4 candidates from the southeast. So are they united around who?
No, the point I'm trying to make is that currently they don't have a structure through which they can garner that common front.
Okay.
But if, assuming before now, maybe in the last 10 years or 5 years, they have realized that at some point they want to challenge the status quo and also present a formidable candidate that can become the president of Nigeria, they will have got it right by now. Are you getting me?
Yeah, all right.
But because of the fact that all of them are still running a rat race, chasing individual ambition, that is why they are still where they are today.
All right, thank you so much. We have new people that joined us. I will get to you guys. Let me hear from Mazam. Go ahead.
Yes, you said the Northerners does not live their own. That mindset should be. I don't accept that mindset. It depends on where that person is coming from. When you see somebody from Northeast and North Central, my brother, they will leave you and support the person that's from Northwest. So
it's still within the North.
Yes, but you see, we have 3 geopolitical zones.
And listen, Masam, I'm sorry to interject. With the question that our coordinator or our facilitator asked, he said between Amaechi and Atiku Abubakar. And that was the basis of my response.
Yes, I'm coming.
Are you with me? Are you telling me that the Northerners will leave Atiku for Amaechi when it comes to making their decision for the candidature?
Yes. Can I tell you why?
No. Yeah, I'm listening.
Tell you why. I will tell you why. I will tell you why.
With reasons, please.
Like that. Let me give you an instance. Because the control tune of the control button of the North.
Yeah.
In the Northwest. And they will prefer to give somebody from the South to return power to them, back to them, than to give to any other person in another part of the country. That's even in the North. Do you understand? They will prefer to give somebody, to return the power to them.
To return the power to them now or in the future?
In the future.
All right.
I want you to understand
contradictory.
Okay, hold on.
I'm still buttressing what I said, Masam, because
yes, the Northwest controls the North.
Yeah.
Politically, religiously. Do you understand? So what they will do, they will prefer to give somebody in the South. They know that this person will return back power.
I can tell you unequivocally. And I repeat it, I can tell you unequivocally, that will never happen in this year, 2022.
All right.
Let's watch and see.
I cannot predict particularly what will happen, but I'm telling you.
So you are saying they will now
hold on, guys.
To come and become the president.
Okay, hold on, guys.
They can do that.
Hold on. Okay, let me introduce new people that joined us. Paul, welcome to the show. Paul, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Paul from Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona. Welcome to the show. Matthias is joining us. Matthias, can you please introduce yourself? Tell us where you're joining us from.
Thank you, Rudolph. My name is Matthias. I'm coming in from England, Warsaw, precisely.
Okay. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Bennett, welcome to the show. Can you tell us where you're joining us from?
Thank you very much. I'm calling in from Texas.
Oh, okay. My man.
Very
great
good.
Texan.
Okay, very good. All right. So I've at least I've heard from several people. Let's get the view of new people that just joined us.
Mark Eze.
Mark, we heard from Mark already. Mark, I know you're there. So let me start with you, Bennett. Bennett, are you following the political events in Nigeria? What's your take on what's going on?
Yeah, I am. In fact, I visit Nigeria like at least 4 times every year. So when you say what's happening, there are a lot of things happening. Could you be a little more specific?
Okay, yeah, we're talking about the election that is about to happen, the primaries in 10 days. What is your take on how things are going, and who do you want to see as the person representing the political parties, the major ones?
Oh, yeah. In my opinion, I mean, this is wishful thinking, but if we were in an ideal world, I would really love to have Peter Obi and Osinbajo on the ballot.
Okay.
This is because on one side, Peter Obi is, most qualified in terms of, being, he has shown that he can serve. I followed him through his Anambra governorship in Anambra State. I have never seen a Nigerian politician, that selfless. So I think Obi will be the best candidate, but I fear that they may not give him the ticket because he's not a conventional politician, somebody who will come in and just appoint all politicians in the into offices and then just let them run everything aground like they are doing right now with Buhari. For Osinbajo, he hasn't shown that he can really lead, but he's the most intellectual of everybody running in APC, and I think we need somebody like that who can at least understand what our problems are. I mean, I don't see a president. The job of a president is not to walk and do wonders, all over the place, but you should be able to understand what the issues are. If you have a very good minister, when the minister is making a presentation, you should be able to understand what they are saying and say, well, I don't like this. This cannot help Nigeria. One of the problems we have with Buhari is Buhari has no understanding of anything. So if you tell him about the economy, tell him about what we really need to do to make the country, he has no intellectual capacity to understand these things. So this is why I'm going for Osinbajo on the APC side.
All right. Thank you, Bennett. Matthias, welcome to the show. Who are you supporting for the primaries? If you had any say in what will happen.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for your contribution. I will still want to go the route of Benedict, what he just delivered in about the ideal world. Unfortunately, we are not in the ideal world. I'll probably take a hit on a few of us from my brother John Abbas and co. Because there is so much of a convolution going on in Nigeria that it is difficult to really cut an even line across. Reason being that if you're coming from the north, I grew up in the north as well. I was actually born in the north, so I know a lot of things. There is this concept of Namune National dichotomy in any time it comes to decision taking. And yes, if you understand that means our own and their own, it has happened to me, it has happened to everybody I know, right from Abuja, right in every ministry I've represented or done things, it has happened. In fact, only your name, Rudolph, could be the reason why you are in a particular office to happen or not to happen. Only your name. And nobody, including my brother, can tell you from the north, he will tell you he cannot deny that fact. And that is why bringing Atiku with any other person from the south is very, very predictable, because the north is never going to sacrifice their own for anyone. And the fact that politics is about numbers, it is not even a thing to begin to say where your record counts for anything. Osinbajo, for me, in APC, could be a very great leader, but the truth is that Osinbajo by nature is a technocrat. He is not built to lead. He doesn't have the spine to take decisions where there are risks, and that is not good enough to lead a polity like Nigeria. Peter Obi, that would be the ideal person to push agenda, to restructure things, and put the structure to hold Nigeria together in the places where Buhari has failed, does not have the political and the regional number behind him. He is from a very small minority, the Southeast. And the Southeast alone, the vote for Southeast alone, cannot make him president. Not to talk about the interest of the South, the other South, the Southwest, and the South that also trying to raise up their heads. So these things are really a big quagmire to break through, and it's going to be a problem. But again, if you ask me, as much as I will stand with Atiku, with his experience, with his wealth of power, and also being a Muslim and a northerner to do things. The question is, age is also not on his side. He's not showing any alien age as we've seen other persons. But like Tinubu, for instance, he's not showing some weakness. But again, Nigeria cannot be run by people that cannot withstand toughness, especially when it comes to, if you want to run Nigeria right now, you must be a man that can have only five hours sleep. If you must turn things around. And that is what we are all ignoring. Anybody that will sleep more than 5 hours now cannot hold Nigeria, in fact, cannot do anything. Because the tide against Nigeria is beyond just coming to make decisions or giving command or appointing political people into offices. It requires both intellectual and physical stamina to handle. And these are things that I'm not seeing in most of these people coming out to show interest. Unfortunately, what they are all showing us is that they also have the power, financial power to support or to buy things around them and to move, which is what Nigeria can do with that at the moment. And again, Nigerians as a people, and majority of the people that are in Nigeria that hold the PVC to make this thing happen don't have this political awareness.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Paul. I'm coming to you. I want you to weigh in, but also to be aware. Someone just wrote on our comment section. Slappy said that imagine all these people living in the US but they all sound like fools. Okay, so that's.
And look at the spelling of this. Look at the spelling of this.
I know you're an editor.
Is this person a wise person?
I know you're an editor. Leave this people alone.
I mean, I think that's the problem we have. Before you come to the public space and also write jargons or frivolous things.
This show is
who you are dealing with.
Kaide, this show is have your say. Let them have their say. We are okay.
We are still having our say.
All right.
Unacceptable. I think the right thing he wanted to say is that we sound like him.
Of course.
All right, Paul. What's your take on the primaries coming up in 10 days?
Where the primary is coming up, we know Nigeria has virtually narrowed this election down to PDP and APC. So to some extent,
not me. Don't include me.
No. I use the word Nigeria. If you want to base, it's like economics 101. Anything below 15% is as good as it doesn't exist. So nobody's even talking like the likes of Mogalu, because I can say if you want to talk about knowledge, wealth of experience in terms of government, I think Mogalu should be better than Peter Obi, but people would disagree. Obi is just the talking type. He talks very well. He knows how to use the media very well. Maybe more than Mogalu, if I would say. So everybody keeps shouting, and because of they narrowed the election down to APC and PDP, so that's why everybody will be talking Osinbajo and Obi. But for me, I still prefer Mogalu. I still prefer the Omoyele Sowore better than these people, because we really need something that will shake the system very well. Because when two elephants fight, remember the Nigerians today, you understand, we are the grass that suffers. You understand? So it's time for us, when these two big parties, when they fight, let's see it like it is we that will profit from it. Because these people, they don't really have anything to offer us. I can tell you for real, I don't see them get anything to offer us. Look, the death of Deborah, they asked Osinbajo, he said Buhari condemned it. What about you, number two?
He
also to be number one within a minute.
He also said that the Sultan condemned it, so not just Buhari.
Exactly. Everybody condemn it. And even though Buhari also condemn it, but if they are in government, condemn it. So what do you expect me to say? I condemn it. They are in the position to take decisions, to make things work. You understand? Dr. Damages, I'm so ashamed of myself. I told you I have somebody from America that is to go to Nigeria to go marry my brother. We had to organize the marriage to Dubai because the fear of insecurity, they can't come to Nigeria. We can't continue like this. So we too, we also take the pain. Somebody call us, well, we're all fools in America. Well, it's true, we are all fools, but we contribute a lot to that foolish country.
No,
you know, so it's how long we'll continue like this? So if these two parties keep fighting, you understand, it favors us. We need
about the...
Okay, let's go to Blessing. Blessing, go ahead. Because Blessing is the only one in Nigeria, so we have to respect that. Go ahead, Blessing.
Incidentally,
to say something that posted about the women parliament. Our moral, I not to disparage him. Yeah, yeah, it's unfortunate. I actually feel sad. I'm the only female now. I don't like it. We're talking about equal representation here, people. But we say not really the best, just opportune, and I do not take it lightly. Now I'm talking about Moralu Peter Obi. I think we should do away with idealism, yes, and we should put these two. We have to put these two people on a pedestal. You realize that one has shown workings. Remember when they will give you a math question and they will say show workings? He did show workings with Anambra State. So when you see people hyping Peter Obi, it is not just because they like him or because he's a great orator. Yes, he speaks well, but he did show workings with Anambra. I mean, I live in Enugu and I have lived in Anambra. Enugu is just like 1 hour. Anambra is just like 1 hour drive away from Enugu. I can tell you for a fact that the man works. So please do not even say, do not just reduce all his for goodness to just
my sister. I'm sorry to cut you off. You might say Peter will be work. Every governor also renovate road. Every governor also renovate schools. The 36 governors. Did he build any new university in Anambra? Did he build any state-of-the-art hospital in Anambra, brand new from the scratch? The population is increasing by the day. Did he do any of those things? Every governor renovates road. Every governor renovates schools and the like. Tell me any new thing that he did so that we can mark his name in gold like Jakonde of Lagos. New schools, housing estates, and the likes. Tell me. Thank you.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to say something about what was said, but what I really wanted to talk about was the Amaechi, Peter Obi, Amaechi Atiku.
Combination.
Ballot. Combination. Honestly, ideally, I know it should be given to Peter Obi, but I know they won't. They won't give it to him. I think most people already can feel that by now.
Why would they give it to him?
He sorry, I'm trying to get your name. Like Obite said, he's not their kind of politician. He does not fit into their box of the stock. It's not the stock they want.
But they want a
He's not the kind of politician they can.
All right, Blessing. All right, let's look at
nationally. We are talking about nationally here.
Okay. So there are two issues. We are talking about the primaries, and then we are talking about the national election. But it starts with the primaries, and if in 10 days you don't come out, we know that that's the end of the candidacy of these people. But let's spare like 1 minute. I'll go around, everybody. What do you think about this P2B phenomenon, if it is what it is? But it's something that Mark Eze said. Mark Eze said that Obama was allowed to be president, and I challenged him because I don't think Obama was allowed. I think Obama fought for it and won it. Okay, so if we can say, looking at Nigeria, if we can say there's anybody who is showing a sign that is different from what we're used to, we could say Peter Obi, for instance. Whether it's only online or what we're seeing on the ground today, we can say that it's more than something that is happening online. But anyway, so what do you think do you think it will have any impact in terms of swaying the actual people who will vote for these candidates within the next 10 days? to make them consider him as a major candidate? I'll start with you. 1 second. Sorry. Make it 1 minute, please. John Abba, I'll go around that way. John Abba, what do you think? Do you think there's anything that people who are on the street today saying 1 million match for Peter Obi will make the PDP to pick him as their candidate?
No.
Okay, that's it. Let me. Why do you say no?
Because the deciding factor of like Paul said, all this Peter Obi is a very I'm a pastor. He talk well, he communicate well, he know how to use media. So I give that to him. And the sister blessing from there talking about that. If you dig down to what Peter Obi did, this is what Nigerian people does to their own people. It's about sweet talk. Pastor shout hallelujah, church is full. Imam say Allah Akbar, mosque is full. There is nothing they can't let me summarize. The person that say we are in America talking like a fool. The reason is that it's because of this, because of people with the sentiment. Let him present something different from what we are saying, and let him watch all this show to the end. Everything we are predicting here will happen because we also be part of the system, the failing system that make us a second-hand citizen in another man's land. So Atiku will become president. He will pick Peter Obi as the vice president again.
All right. Kaide, do you think that because if we think beyond 2023, we might be able to say that whether Peter Obi gets it or not, that what he's doing is something that maybe tomorrow's presidential candidates will try to do, being able to build a kind of a movement across the country that is visible, that is to some extent based on merit, I think. So what do you think, Kaide, do you think that they could sway the PDP to somehow make him their candidate?
Well, with the unseriousness in the other parties, most especially the APC, because I can see a lot of unseriousness. They have lost their constituency, or they have lost their existence. They have lost their coexistence. Before now, APC used to be a party to reckon with. But with what has been happening in the last 1 year now, everybody is fighting for self-interest. And that is what has left or rendered the party useless. So like John Abba said, it's a good prediction. You might see a situation where they want Atiku to become the president using the northern machine or the northern power and putting somebody like Peter Obi, because the Muslim ticket is not going to happen. It's going to be a Muslim-Christian ticket. And I don't see any Christian in that PDP that they are going to pick as the vice. So Peter Obi may likely be the vice. So, and I want to leave it like that.
Okay. Mazam, let me come to you. This Muslim ticket is actually one of the things that some people are predicting is led to the end of, I'm sorry to say that, Tinubu's presidency or his campaign for president.
His ambition.
Because even if he gets the ticket of APC, what will he do? You are from the north. You are from the north central, I think. Yobe. Northeast. Okay. So if you find Tinubu picking somebody, a Muslim from the north, whichever part of the north, how will you feel?
I will feel marginalized, and likewise, many northern Christians.
Hold on. Do you think that it's possible for Tinubu, if he gets the APC ticket, to pick a northern Christian like you?
Yeah, he might pick a northern Christian because they know that Muslim ticket will not work. But the north entirely, the powers that be in the north, may not go well with it. That is why when somebody was saying that, when someone said we have PDP and APC, and this other guy with dreadlocks was saying that no, we should not. We should also look at Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso is a strong contender. That was why I said something that, look, the North, if the Northwest does not have their own person, they will prefer to give it to someone in the south because they always calculate years ahead. After the tenure, who is going to be the next president? If you finish your own 8 years or 4 years, you have to give them back. They are the ones holding Nigeria to ransom. That's how I see it. And I want you to understand one thing. When we are talking about Obi, at the moment, PDP does not have any strong, as in any competent contender than him. Because practically we have seen what he has put on ground, not in political office, but even in his own personal business. So when you are talking about people who have shown character, who have shown integrity, and practically they have done something that have worked, then we should look at Peter Obi as a person, because he has a business. He built a business empire, and when he became the governor, we saw investments he did. Some of the investments is $20 million that became over $100 million over the years. So these are things.
Investment and empowerment.
But then I'm not cutting you off. It's in business. It's not even more rich in business than Atiku. It cannot even reach a
yes, but look at Atiku. How did Atiku make his money? How did Atiku make his money in business? He started as a custom officer. How did they acquire the land in One? You understand?
So in that Port Harcourt where you are talking about, the Port Harcourt where they're close to where Peter Obi come from, today they go to Port Harcourt for between Atiku and Peter Obi. Atiku will win in Port Harcourt, even in so they close.
All right.
So if you are talking about that is not the reason why somebody become a president.
I want to add something. You see, Dangote, so when people see Dangote as a person, they will say Dangote has a business model, he has done this, he has done that. But let me tell you, there are so many people who have done so much that they have done it as in individually, and because Dangote has enjoyed power, he has enjoyed favor from power.
Monopoly.
Monopoly.
All right. Thank you.
You cannot use him as a business model. You cannot use him as someone who builds business from scratch.
Okay, hold on, Madam. Hold on. Okay, we are talking about. We just want to go around quickly about the Peter Obi, whether it's something that it will last in terms of a phenomenon. Mark Eze, I want to come to you because you said something. I know most of them were not there when you were at the beginning. You said something that if this did not, if at the end what you are thinking doesn't happen, that you have a plan. What are you? I want you to say why a lot of people are watching. What do you say will happen if they don't secede power, or maybe hand over the nomination to people from the east?
Well, first thing is to consider the security implication of the 2023 election. I believe the security of Nigeria should be the most important thing in 2023. Security and the unity of Nigeria. 2023 election, if it's through consensus, a Southeasterner emerge as the presidential candidate of APC and PDP, that will further unite Nigeria. If you look at Nigeria today, there's uprising, a lot of agitations. And I believe 2023 can resolve the issue of, Biafra agitation, Oduduwa, and other ethnic groups trying to secede from Nigeria. Okay. So we're talking about 2023, the security implication of 2023 is paramount.
All right.
And I believe.
Thank you. Ovia, I'm coming back to you. I'm going around, but I want to this Peter Obi a phenomenon. Let's look. I know you support someone like Omoyele Sowore, right? Do you think that if Sowore is traveling across the country, getting the kind of what do you call it now, vibe that we are seeing from Peter Obi's people. They're actually on our message section, and they are posting a lot of comments about Peter Obi, and they're all over the internet and on the streets today. Because what do you think? What do you think about this in terms of, does it signify anything? Is it just, perception is everything in politics? Is this just like Reno or Mokri said that Peter Obi will win any day on the internet, but on the ground he will win? What do you think of you?
All right. Well, I'm Peter Obi. I don't. For me personally, I don't know the bra about Peter Obi, but I will give him credit for staying kind of relevant, even when other people lost the election last 4 years ago, and they just went into coma. And I think that's why this buzz about Peter Obi, all over the internet, was because of that. Because he's very strategic at where he presents himself, the kind of issue he talk about, and it's consistent in doing that for the past 4 years, or since he left as a governor of the state. So for that, I give it to him. It's always there. But other than that, I don't know. Everything is against him. The sound, the zone that he's coming from, the party that he belongs, the permutation of the day, everything is on his side. So I seriously don't know why people are, buzz about him.
All right, thank you, Bennett. People who support Peter Obi, would they be disappointed? What will happen if in 10 days he's not nominated as the candidate of the political, the PDP? What do you think will happen?
Can you repeat the question? There was a bit of interference from somebody.
Okay, yeah, we're hearing audio. Please, if you're not talking, please, can you mute your line? I'm saying, people who are today supporting Peter Obi, what do you think will be their, how would they react if 10 days from now he did not get the nomination of PDP?
Well, I mean, what would they do? I mean, we've been disappointed all for several years in Nigeria right now.
What would they do?
Let's just say one thing. The reason why we are seeing this movement, Peter Obi movement, is because Peter Obi, declared, and nobody gave him a chance, and then he started moving around, visiting all the states, and then videos started emerging and stuff. It looked like delegates were beginning to listen to him. All of a sudden, people started to dream. So, wow, it's even possible Peter Obi could be selected. Look, I've been a PDP delegate. Though...
Wait. You've been a delegate?
Yes, I've played politics in 20... Okay. I left in...
Wait. Now, tell us what's happening now behind the scenes. Since you... What do you think is going on?
I'm no longer a PDP member or anything. The reason why I left is why I made reference to that is because delegates are like robots in PDP, except something has changed. So since I ventured in 2007 because my elder brother was a big politician in my. In fact, he ran away. He now lives in California. So the PDP delegate list. It's a magical paper, right? Mm-hmm. They have a list. You come to an election today, vote for a candidate, and then the next election, you were selected by your people, your name disappears from the list. Now, this is how magical the paper is. Now, the delegates are controlled by the governors. They don't have a will of their own. These people get locked in hotels. You're not allowed, a day before the election, you're not allowed to interface with any other person. They want to, in fact, they even monitor you until you cast your vote. This is how bad it is. So, except something, changes. So, me personally, I don't have any, even though I support Peter Obi, I don't have, any kind of, I'm not deluded. I don't think he's not going to.
Hold on, Bennett. Do you, did they, when you were a delegate, were you giving money? did that matter? If we're assuming, I don't have experience of that. We're assuming that all these candidates are giving things to delegates. How do you decide? What did you do at that period? Tell us so that we can.
They give money. Look, the money is, in fact, the delegates have the idea then was the money is, okay, there are lineups. Okay, let me say this. There are lineups in PDP. Well, this is my experience, old experience. I don't know what goes on now. Now, the lineup means if we have two, candidates in a state, for example, each candidate has their lineup in the party. It means people who support them all the way to the ward, right? So when it's time for election, and then you have ward elections, people, when delegates are selected, each delegate visits or the contestants visits the delegates and gives them money. Now, the understanding was, I don't know what the understanding now is when you invite people to a conference, you give them perhaps per diem or whatever. So delegates think this money is what they worked for, they worked for this money. But I've never been a national delegate. But a national delegate, my elder brother was. In national delegates, they support, before they go there, the governors or whoever controls them tell them who to support. And that person to support has already given money to the governors or whoever controls them. They are all giving money one after the other and said, this is who you are going to vote. And they make sure they lock them up, make sure they don't collect money from any other candidate, because there has been, history of people getting, outbidded or giving more money. All right, so
cross carpeting.
All right. So Peter Obi, as it is right now, why I think he will not get the ticket, except a miracle happens. Peter Obi, the brand of politics he plays, he is a threat right now to the PDP establishment, because his body language doesn't look like he's going to come in and then start appointing people. Wike, you are the chief of staff. This he would want to perform, because his support is from the street.
Okay. Thank you, Bennett. Let's hear from other people. Matthias, you don't look like you were a delegate before.
I wasn't a delegate, but I would say
anyway.
I wasn't a delegate. I was never a politician actually, but I follow politics closely. The truth is that if I continue for where Bennett is stuff, Peter Obi is a threat to this current PDP structure, because he's not the type of politician that come and share the money. He's not the type of person that flag to whatever the leadership in quote one, like this is my brother, make him a minister. This is my uncle, make this. He doesn't. He's not that amenable. He is result oriented, and that is one of the things that make differentiate him from every other candidate we are seeing so far. However, like you said, will I be disappointed if he doesn't get a ticket? Yes. Well, there's anything we can do? No. We are used to being disappointed with how things go in Nigeria. But the thing is that if going by what somebody has said earlier about performance and the record, if you know what Anambra was before Peter Obi became the governor, I grew up in Ogidi. My office was in Bo. So I think if you know that place, you should know. I'm not talking from what I read in the newspaper. I grew up in Ogidi. I knew when it was dangerous to move from Oyo-Onisha. You would drive your car from Oyo-Onisha to Onitsha. I know how dangerous. I know when things became that bad. until this guy came in and turned things around. So it's not about building university. The guy started from the grassroots. He sustained the primary secondary school in Anambra State to the point of winning award and accolades globally. You can't tell me that kind of person does not have a vision to run a country. When we err in vision, we are always going to stumble in judgment. And that is what is happening to Nigeria. The vision is always not in the direction of development and going forward. And with that, whatever, even like somebody said earlier, even if you bring, I think it's my brother John, my brother said it, if you bring Jesus Christ down to Nigeria today, he is going to have problem with the power that be in setting up the person or the right political machine to turn the nation around. If turning around the Nigeria is what we people want, we know those that can do it, and it's not far away from Peter Obi. But if to continue running the things as usual, then yes, of course, we will continue with, of course, bringing everybody. But the thing is this, the baboons can chase you out of your car, but they can't drive the car. And that is what has led Nigeria to the status quo and going backward, as it were, tomorrow. And until we are ready to collectively, both of those that in Nigeria and some of us here in diaspora, whatever we are putting our voice to, we must have that behind our mind. It's not about who runs Nigeria or where he comes from. It is about who has both the will and the capacity, mental capacity to turn things around. If we don't do that, I'm sorry, we continue. The support will continue.
All right.
The floor.
All right. Thank you so much. Okija, welcome to the show. Unmute yourself, please.
Well done, Oga.
So I know you've been listening and you've been watching. What is your take on in 10 days we are going to have the two candidates from the two major parties? Who do you expect to win? And what will be the reaction if that doesn't happen?
Actually, you know, I was getting ready to go and cut grass, but I had I think Kayode. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, Kayode and Mazam, you know, arguing, and people were talking about you know, the North cannot forget you know, one of its own. You know, I was getting mad. I was pressing to get into the studio, and it took time. But anyway, Abiola trans Tofa, what's his name? Tofa, even beat him in his own state, can. Okay? Abiola, sorry, not after Abiola, Obasanjo beat this inept coward, Buhari, once. Jonathan beat him also. So I don't know why, you know, people are saying that you know, the North cannot forget their own. Again, you know, I understand what you know, Mazam, you know, was saying about you know, they would like to give it to somebody else in order for them to take it, because the Northwest, you know, the Fulani especially, they control the whole North. Okay, so whatever they dictate, you know, whatever they say, you know, goes. But you know, like what he's saying is this: if they allow, if for someone like Atiku wins the you know, the ticket, they wouldn't want to take Atiku to win, because they know that Atiku will rule for 8 years, and after that 8 years, not has ruled for 16 years. So you know, it's gonna defy, you know, I mean, it's gonna be so controversial that the North will retain power again. So that means it will go back to South. So, but if they give it to a Southern person right now, and then it comes back to them again after 8 years, you know, that would be preferable to them. I don't understand what he's saying.
Hey, excuse me.
So no, let me finish. Let me finish. Sorry. Okay. So you know, that's the thing about the whatever the North and I mean the Fulanis and their control over the North. And then I want to make a comment about Peter Obi. This guy, what's his name? Paul was saying something. What did Peter Obi do? You know, what did he do in Anambra? Peter Obi wasn't just about, you know, like building a thing. Peter Obi did what you call integrated development. You know, like every sector of human life, you know, was, you know, involved in that. You know, he involved every one of them in that development. It was just building road. It was, you know, modernizing schools. You know, building capacity. Okay, for instance, one thing he did. The state university was in my local government. Okay, But where it was, Anambra State government was spending money to build the school, to build more structure. And when Ngige came, the governor before him, Ngige took the College of Health for the university and took it to his own town. When Peter Obi came in, and that would take money again to start building a College of Health. When Peter Obi came, do you know what they did? The one in my local government already, he said, like, we instead of spending money here, we have a College of Amina, Agrica, I think, farm settlement they had. There was a farm settlement, people were not using it anymore. He said, why not we use this place to build the school? I mean, to develop this school more instead of, wasting money building. So he took the school from my local government, he took most of their faculties and moved it to where they have building, not even in his own senatorial zone. So, okay, for instance, what I thought Peter Obi was the Anambra State local government election. He didn't conduct the election. But what he did, he saved their money. They said that my local government had about 6 billion naira in their account. So he wasn't messing with their money. He was giving them their money, saving the money for them in their own account and allowing the caretaker committee to work with, just overhead. So, and you say something, if Peter Obi, if he doesn't win, Peter Obi, one thing I like about him is mosquito campaign. I observe his campaign in Anambra, his first campaign and his second campaign. Mosquito campaign, what he does, a night campaign, he will go to, places, people, stakeholders, priests, market people, market leaders, community leaders. He will visit them. He doesn't give money. He will go there and tell them what he will do. And for some reason, he just want, I think he's a lucky person. For some reason, they will just believe him without him giving them money. And when he started this campaign, someone was complaining, oh, why is he in Anambra State, talking? He's supposed to be going around. I was telling the person, wait, Peter Obi will start another, mosquito campaign. Then he has gone in under 2 weeks or so, or less than 1 month, he has gone to 34 states. And he has been getting good feedback, from what we are saying. I mean, from what people are saying online, not even from the delegates. And again, also another factor, also I heard also that he is working with Saraki. So probably, somehow, if Saraki wins, because some people they're not considering Saraki, people are just talking about Atiku. Atiku will not win the nomination. Forget about Atiku. Atiku is gone. Atiku is old story. There are new people, new kids on the block. You talk about Peter Obi, you talk about Saraki, you talk about Wike. So these are the people, I'm thinking that we win it. And if he doesn't win it, what are we gonna do? Yeah, it's in Nigeria. It has failed again.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Jonathan, just 1 second. Okay. Just 1 second, because I believe we are all learning, and it is critical. One, there are two things I want to briefly say. One on Showore, and the other one in response to what Okija just said. On Showore, I want to use this medium to implore you, Dr. Jonathan, to organize a kind of conference within this house that is not going to be public. Because honestly, I believe almost everybody here, we are all young, we are still young minds. We may not be young in age, but we are young minds, and we love Showore for what it stands for. Between 2015 and 2019, I used to be one of his ardent followers. Up to now, I'm still his follower, but we need to have a conference of young minds, intellectual minds, very decisive and, focused mind to advise Showore, because we believe he has what it takes to lead Nigeria, but the approach he's using may not help him now. I'm being frank now. And that is one, Dr. Damages. Secondly, to Kija and Okija, you mentioned that Abiola won. He defeated Tofa in Kano in 1993. Somebody just put it, and this question I think is for you, sir. Abiola beat Tofa in Kano, yes. But did Igbos vote for Abiola? That is for, listen, I'm coming. I also want you to know that barring all emotions, sentiments, and reactions. I want you to know that whatever we discuss here are functions or exigencies of the moment. We are analyzing the political situations as at today, as they are presently, not as at 1993. I want to put it to you. Will you say that the election strategies, the election system, and even the delegate system they were using in 1993 still subsist or persist up to today? Things have changed.
All right.
That's one thing I want you to know.
I think things has changed for better now because for I've in my memory I can't remember any time the northern people stoned their leader. Now they are stoning Buhari, they are stoning his pictures. So the things have changed. It has gotten to a extent that everybody's angry. People are dying in Nigeria.
Stoning their leaders. When they killed Deborah, did they stone their leaders?
I'm telling you, when it comes to political, I'm talking about political leaders. Let's leave religion out of it.
Everything is political.
No. Let's leave religion.
Even
let's
in
talk
religion,
about politics.
you still find politics.
All right.
No, let's talk about politics right now. Things are so hard that even if it's the devil, people want the devil right now.
All right. Thank you. Let's welcome.
Leave it like that because of time, please.
Yeah. Let's welcome Basil to the show. Basil, welcome to the show. You have to mute yourself, Basil.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah.
So you've been following what's going on, and I want to know your take. The primaries are coming up, and who do you expect to come out from APC and PDP?
I wish the people that are young and have the capacity to do the right thing would have a chance. But I'm afraid that such a thing wouldn't happen because what happens in Nigerian system is who can pay a whole lot of money to the gullible ones. And they are there to kill and maim for you if they have money in their hands. And it would be my wish that Nigerians would have a rethink and look at people who has the capacity to lead at this point.
Give us names. We want names. PDP, who do you want? And who do you think will win? There are two questions. Who do you want and who do you think will win?
I think if not Saraki, Peter Obi might win. But
hold on, Peter Obi might win, but you want Saraki? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I said. I said I don't want anyone because the truth of the matter is that none of what I have seen
is an experienced journalist. You want to box the guy into a corner.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that the likely chances that has capacity to do something different is Obi and Saraki.
Okay, Saraki as vice president.
Yes, let Saraki be vice president. That's okay.
Okay. In APC, what are you looking at? What do you want?
APC, I don't think they have anyone that has capacity to rule Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much.
You guys mean. Basil, you are mean.
No, that's the truth.
But the truth is that they have to feel somebody, even if you don't.
Yes, but I have not seen anyone that has capacity of reasoning, capacity of doing the right thing.
The vice president doesn't have it.
Doesn't have that.
Who?
The vice president.
Unless you've been in dreams since 8 years. If he has anything, he would have showed somehow, at least somehow.
Okay.
Yes.
What about Lawan? People underestimate Lawan. What do you think about him?
Lawan is shadowed with religious bigotry, and he might not go beyond that. Okay. That's my observation of him since I know him as a name.
Okay. All right. So let's move a little bit away from this topic. I think we are satisfied with some of the answers. Let's look at what's happening in Lagos. It may be a very small thing to some people, but the implications are a lot. The governor just banned Okada, announced that Okada will be banned from several parts of Lagos starting June 1. Part of the reason is what happened in Lagos recently. They killed one David, a sound engineer, but because of it's ordinary conflict about money, and he was killed. I want to get your view on and that sentiment. Of course, they attacked the police recently. I'll play some of the videos, just one video, so that you guys will get an idea for viewers who may not have followed what was going on in Lagos. Let me play this video.
Syria and Nigeria police hide. Syria and Nigeria police hide, they run. See Aboki where they pursue them. See Aboki where they pursue them. See crowd of Aboki. See Nigeria police, they run. See Nigeria police, they shoot, they run. Aboki, they pursue them. See Nigeria, they run. Nigeria police. See them, they run, they shoot. See Aboki where they pursue them. See Aboki. See Aboki.
All right, just a little bit of this. Wow. These are what they call they call them crack reporters. You know, ordinary people giving their commentary of videos of what is going on. But so after several incidents, the government of Lagos State decided that they.
I'm sorry. Before then, sir, that video we just watched, was passing a message, and that is to tell us that. In reaction or in response to what somebody asked, I think it was Bennett. It was I think Matthias who said, "What would they do if you understand?" It is to tell us that whether we like it or not, these people they don't even care about their life. Are you with me? They are pursuing police. The police are running away. So these are you are now telling me that police can. Prevent any ugly situation if these people want to vote at all cost. It's not going to happen. The security situation is nobody can have any answer to it at the moment. The government is helpless. I am telling you, let the police go and carry armor tank and mount it at the polling booths. If these people want to vote, they will vote.
All right, very, very good. I want to expand this conversation in the sense that there is insecurity everywhere across the country. If you think about the East, it's happening there in the North, in Kano. Of course, we didn't talk about what happened in Kaduna and in Kano, where there was an explosion. We will get to that if we have time. But also, we know that in Sokoto, what happened there, the country is in disarray, so to say, and the implication of this is big if you think about what will happen when we have these two candidates that we merge in the next 10 days. If they don't show any sign that it will do something to reduce the tension in the country, what do you think will happen? I want to get predictions from a few of you. Janaba, let me start with you. You have to mute yourself, Janaba.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. And we all have to agree that we have a failed state. So the police also are paralyzed in their word. And if police, my suggestion and my word is that it will continue to go this way, the insecurity, until Nigerians rise up to decentralize police force. The reason why that you are seeing this thing is that when anything happens, whether in the north or in the east, they will deploy police to where they can, to their own interest, where they can protect their own interest. The cabal, or you call them, whatever you call them, the elite, the well connected, they will protect themselves and they will protect their own interest in any area that they will direct the police force to go and stop people, even if it is a peaceful protest, they can do that. So if there is in 10 days, if the the candidate from APC or PDP, people don't like it, they want to take it to the street. They will do the same thing, but the police to stop them. Well, what can they do? And police and the Nigerian police force is take orders directly from the IG to the commissioner of the police in the state down to the DPO of every other local area, which it shouldn't be. So let us use this platform to also speak to those things that if you want security in Nigeria, let's decentralize Nigerian police force. Let people protect their own people. Can you imagine me now? I grew up in Medoguri. Then you take me to become a police commissioner of Lagos as an outside speaking boy or as a Doma guy. So my interest is less there. So all those things we will still have we will still continue to have this conflict, even if you bring Jesus Christ there.
All right, thank you. Blessing just joined us again from Enugu. Blessing, let me ask you, if they ban Okada in Enugu, how would that impact the lives of people? And who are the Okada riders in Enugu?
Okada has been... We don't have Okada in Enugu for over 10 years now.
What? Okay, I didn't know that.
How damages on the issue of the please before I go. On the issue of the governor banning the Okada in Nigeria, in Lagos, particularly because of the incident that happened, somebody was killed. That is how Nigerian government, anybody can come up with anything as far as you have power to quench anything. I'm surprised to hear that there is no Okada in Enugu for the past years. But also, what are the Okada does? What is the major work they do? They mobilize people from one place to another because of the bad road network. So whatever has happened in the set of whether Okada contributed to it, Okada themselves have been killed by cars many times. Many of them. So it shouldn't be. The governor shouldn't have banned it.
Okay, thank you. Blessing. So what is your there's no Okada in Enugu. How do people get around?
We use cabs and keke. Within Enugu town, we use cabs and keke. And I would say that the keke people are the senior brothers of the Okada riders. Yeah, the bigger nuisance than the Okada people were. The only difference is that they can't run so fast. That is just the only difference. But they are just as much a nuisance as the Okada people were. You would see them in a two-lane road. They quickly make it four when they are trying to get ahead of everybody else. You'll be walking on the pedestrian walk and you turn back and there's a keke behind you. And the person is blaring the horn. Ooh, get out of the way. You sound like, Mr. Man, this is a pedestrian walk, not the main road. It's like, hey, stay there now. I would like you and you enter gutter. Let me know who will feel the pain. It's crazy.
So there are people in Lagos who are complaining that these Okada riders, that they are not Nigerians. So the KK people in Enugu, are they Nigerians?
Oh, they are Igbos and Hausas and everybody Nigerian.
Okay.
They are very much Nigerian.
Okay. All right. So because this is very important, because that's another angle to the conversation. You know, part of the sentiments that people in Lagos feel.
Sorry, Doc. Sorry to cut you short. This was just banned within the town, within Enugu town. In the villages, Okada still runs freely. It's just within Enugu metropolis that we do not have Okada and the highways. Or in the villages, like in my own village, I'm from Enugu, we still have Okada.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay, Mazam, let me come to you. I want to get your view on what happened in Kano. Let me play a video for those who have not seen it. There was an explosion where nine people were killed in a school somewhere in Kano, and the government of Kano State was claiming that it was a gas cylinder that blew up, but the people who went there, who walked around the area, said that it was a suicide bomber. Let's watch the video, and then we'll come back and get your view on that.
Akim, and I want you to pass. And I want you to pass this information across the way I'm telling you now. It was not gas explosion. It was a suicide bomber. We saw him. So that is a fact. but God intervened.
After our assembly in the morning, I was in a class teaching the students, and all of a sudden we heard a sound, and on reaching here, we saw the explosion and some dead bodies around. And what we are hearing in the news now that the government are saying is a gas explosion, while what we saw and the sound we hear is a bomb blast sound. As an engineering student, I know what is gas and I know what is bomb explosion. So I don't see the reason why the government will be telling us that this is a gas explosion where we know the truth. So I don't know if they are trying to cover their shame or.
So maybe the person that.
Sir, let's get this right. Something happened in the school.
I told you there's nothing happened in that school.
No, can we get this right?
There's nothing happened in that school. I was there. Okay. I was there. I was there myself.
Hang on a minute.
I'm not tall. I was there physically.
Hang on a minute.
Yes, sir.
Well, we saw pictures of pupils that were blooded from the school. That means something happened. But the welder's shop that you said the bomb...
No, definitely.
Hang on a minute. Let me speak, sir, please. I beg you, sir. We just want to get to the end of this.
Okay.
The welder's place that you said the gas explosion happened, nothing happened to the welder.
Yes.
But the students, there were pictures of students that were blooded. So how did that come about? The epicenter of the explosion, which is the welder's place, nothing happened to the welder. But the students in the school opposite were blooded. How come that happened?
As I'm talking to you, I cannot say a single person that was blooded in that school. And I was in the front of that school, opposite to the scene of the incident. So I cannot say.
So no whether people was affected.
This is our country. And that man was a doctor in charge of emergency management in Enugu, in Kano. So Mazam, just help explain to us, how do we get people like this in positions of power across Nigeria?
This is unfortunate to have someone like that at the helm of affairs. Looking at the video and looking at the impact of the explosion, there are things involved. I am a geologist by profession, so I have worked in one of the quarries of one of the cement producing companies in Nigeria. And if you are talking about this explosion, by mere looking at it, that did not come from a cylinder. Maybe it can be an acetylene cylinder. Probably, I may accept that. But if you look at it, the impact is massive. And what they should have done is to look for traces of explosive materials, because there are things like the detonating code, the ammonium nitrate, and the rest. So all these things, these are the things that those guys use for their IEDs. So they should look for that trace. And for someone to come and say, I have seen this, I have seen a suicide bomber or someone came for to detonate this thing, that means they should ask for, they should investigate further and see if there are traces of such persons. So people like this should not be at the helm of affairs, because you cannot just come and say without investigation, without looking at the whole thing, and then you just conclude that this is it, or you have not seen a blooded person or so. We have seen children, kids, I think school kids, pupils, going with blood all over their body. So for someone to come and say that is bias, I don't think such people are in the right position to tell us what is there. I know police have done their investigation, and also people are still looking at what is happening, but they should call those people who said that they are the first witnesses, or they have seen that thing happened, and then they should investigate them, and then they should also carry out their own investigation, and they will come out with the truth, but not that based on what someone said on the street. Because was in his office when this thing happened. So how did he know?
All right, thank you so much. Matthias, what's your take?
Yeah, I think we all know the truth. There is no point beating about the bush. If I'm eating with you in the dark and the only piece of meat in the soup is missing, and you are the one to accuse me, and I know I didn't take that meat. We all know we all know the truth. It will take only God from heaven to say this is who stole the meat. Such a person leading such misleading narrative shows you that these things are inside job, and it's not the first time it's happening. We know this has happened over the times, and again, when this is happening, because they are even making such comments, such guys coming out to make such comments, because it is not good for the optics of the state and of course the local government. For outside, that is why they are making that effort. The guy is not that. Nobody in that kind of position is an ignorant person. The guy went to school. He has both political and other experiences to have been in that place. It's just that this intelligence did not serve. These things are insiders' job, which we all know that. Let us not, the fact that we don't have evidence to say this exactly, and of course, without proper investigation, independent investigation, how do you pin anything down to say, well, whether this is a gas or a bomb explosion? So we know the truth. We know the truth. There is no way. And for God's sake, how big is any cylinder gas that we explode with the space with which this impact was felt? How big is it that, if not for bomb, how big? And why should the gas that, the first thing I heard about that incident is that very location is a farm. So what is the correlation between gas and the farm? And what is gas doing in that place? Even if it is a gas, to tell that these things are premeditated and carried out by somebody. So let us not. There's no point. Going into. We know what happened. The fact that we don't have the evidence shows that, first of all, there has not been enough vigilante and security around the vicinity, and two, that these things there must have been a target for such thing to happen, but we don't have evidence. Only that this guy, of course, was caught off guard in trying to defend the indefendable, and that is what we find. It's a natural thing or a normal thing that we have normalized in Nigeria. But again, it happens, and this will not be the last thing. It's always happening. So let's not beat it too much.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. What is your take on that incident? You are muted. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Nigeria is always, when things happen, things that's supposed to, we have professionals who are supposed to, look at things and tell us what happened. But it doesn't work that way in Nigeria. So, usually, a sighting of a snake, becomes, sighting of a whale. So, that's typical Nigeria. But I don't know. I didn't hear the sound, so I don't know. I've never really, looked at the videos. So, but my thing is that no one has claimed responsibility. So, if it were like suicide bombers, someone would have claimed responsibility by now. So that's that's somehow I'm thinking probably it could be gas. Gas cylinders depending on the size, it could be but if it happened, the pieces would still be there, or big chunk of the cylinder would still be there. So I wasn't there. So the student that was saying that he was an engineering student, this and that. I don't know if he had built bomb before. So to tell us, how bombs sound. So I don't know. It just Nigeria. Let's wait for the police, to whatever. If there are police people, to do the investigation and tell us what happened.
Mazan, you wanted to say something?
I wanted to say, if it were, people's houses do burn, and their gas cylinders do also explode. But we have not seen such kind of an impact. That's why I was saying that it could be an acetylene gas, because that it comes with a massive impact because of the pressure and the material build of the cylinder. Because the more confinement, the more strength the material is, the more explosion it gives. So that can be possible. But is there someone who is using an acetylene welding material there? You understand? How many cylinders are there? Is there someone who detonated that bomb? If there was someone, there should be a chunk of his head, maybe flew to some places. We'll see some flesh. We'll see some part of the body. So I think I will also suggest that they should allow the investigation to go on. For him also, as a government official, we believe that in this tense situation, especially particularly with respect to what happened in Sokoto, nobody wants to intensify the and polarize the polity. But because of that situation and him too trying, he's probably have been directed to not to say something different from what his bosses have said. So,
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Blessing, do you want to say something?
Okay, let me just say this quickly, yeah? Maybe not. What happened in Kano was an explosion. The thing is, you cannot blame the general public. We are a people that are used to being lied to. Okay? If something happens, take example, the Lekki toll gate issue. Till now, even with the live stream, they are still saying nothing happened. They contradicted themselves for over a year. So I do not blame people who say it's an explosion, and I do not blame people who say it's not an explosion. When you have a government that cannot come out and say exactly what happened, they have to cover things up, they have to make things seem the way it is not. I do not blame anyone. What I'm saying is, instead of asking whether or not it was an explosion, shouldn't we be concerned if people were hurt? Shouldn't we be concerned if there is rescue operation going on? That is what I'm talking about. I'm not even concerned. I know. If it is an explosion, there are bigger consequences. But we are gradually losing our humanity. And if something happens, and instead of rescuing people that were injured or trying to get help or doing the necessary things, we are here arguing whether or not it's an explosion from a bomb or from a gas cylinder. I just
Zero value for life.
All right, thank you.
Zero value for life.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, most of our people are gone to watch soccer. They are telling me there are some things they have to go and do. While we round up, Matthias, let me play a little bit of that video. I want to get your view where the man was asked. Just watch and then I'll get your reaction.
Plus, what was the interest of let's assume it is bomb blast, and it already happened. What is the interest there? Why the people insist that it must be a bomb blast? What is the benefit there? What had happened had already happened. People those who has gone has gone. Those who are wounded were wounded. And then whether it is a gas explosion, whether it's bomb blast, what's the interest of the general public? Why people I want to shift this issue to bomb blast? What the benefit do we have? We were saying the right thing, that it's not a bomb blast, it is a gas explosion. Is there any benefit that people would drive from bomb blast if it is the one that happened? So we are saying the right thing. We are saying what exactly happened. Why is it that people are saying bomb blast? If it is bomb blast, what benefit will they gain from that issue? So, but whether it's bomb blast, whether it's a gas explosion, as we observe, the government will not leave this issue like that. I am sure a strong investigation team committee will find out what had what happened to that. How does it happen? So people should rest. People should should cool their mind. Government is very much concerned. Governor, His Excellency, before he went there, he sent his deputy, including myself and the head of service and the rest of government officials, to go and assess the situation.
So, in fact, there was a point he said that you know, that is God that basically took the lives of people that were taken. That what do you think? What do you think about the way our officials look at things?
Yes, yeah. This tells you again that there will never be any mechanism for preventive measures going forward. Now, a blast happened in a state that you govern, and people are saying it is bomb blast. Wait, in the first place, aren't you supposed to wait for the result of the investigation panel to come out before you begin to make such a strong argument against bomb blast and for gas? He didn't wait, and for the fact that he didn't wait for that to happen tells you that he knows something. And that what he knows is why he's pushing, making effort to so that argument or narrative doesn't go the way that people's experience. Dr. Rufus, if I slap you now, nobody will tell you how to describe your pain. Your pain is your pain. How it sounds to you is how you're going to describe it. But because these guys are insensitive to people's plight, they are not the victims of this, and probably behind what has happened. That is why you see him saying that way. Yes, God does a lot of things in the life of human, but for God's sake, God has also given us this earth as human to govern, to rule. So why can't we, first of all, when something happens, investigate what happened? After investigating, put measures, structures down. That is the work of government, so that something does not happen again, does not repeat any further. And these are the things that we are supposed to be his priority. Then those that were wounded or killed should be taken care of. He is not bothered about that. He's more about the narrative. What people, you can't tell me what my experience is if I have been hurt in a particular situation or phenomenon. So this is the whole reason why we say and like I think Sister Blessing said earlier, the people are cut off. They are not insensitive to the people's plight. They are there as the ruler, because we don't have leaders in Nigeria, and I'm sorry to say that, which is my shame. And then the people that they rule over, they are there. The Intalaka, everybody is there. So you don't even have a say. For you to even suggest that this thing is a bomb blast, for them is insulting to them, or they feel entitled to tell you what happened to you, not what you have experienced. So the whole thing is what is making me feel that there is so much to this than what we have seen or heard.
All right.
Somebody is not telling us the truth.
Thank you so much. We went over 2 hours by almost 20-something minutes, so we have to round. We have Fabian, who is just joining us. I want to hear, Fabian, welcome to the show. Tell us where you joined us from.
Thank you, Dr. Rufus. I'm joining from United Kingdom. I'm in Scotland. I've been enjoying listening to the show. I just said, let me click in and have a word.
Okay, good. So what is your take? We talked about politics. We talked about the primaries. What is your opinion on any of the topics that we touched on?
I have an opinion about. I always think that each time I listen to Nigerians discussing politics, I always ask myself, are we actually sincere? Do we really want change to actually happen in our country? Or we are just playing ethnic and religious politics every time? We don't seem to kind of be objective to analyze what is happening in our country and prefer solutions. We see how other countries are working. We live there. We see how things work, see the processes, but yet every time we are kind of making decisions, we are kind of parochial. We don't kind of look at it objectively and tell people this is what we want to happen. Otherwise, we'll keep going down the drain and nothing will happen. I hear people talking about Peter Obi. Yes, very credible candidate, but at the end of the day, he can only do 2 terms. And after that, what happens? He did 2 terms in Anambra State, did a wonderful job, handed over to somebody who messed up the system. So sometimes it's not practical. We must be frank with ourselves to actually analyze our system properly and see that really our system needs to change.
Wait, hold on, Fabian. When you said that, what do you mean? What needs to be changed? How do you change it?
Our system is a country that is ruled by impunity, ruled by people who are so corrupt, who are not ready to do anything to change the process. And our polity and our population are aiding them. We are the ones who are aiding them because we are so ethnically inclined. My brother, my tribe, my this. Instead of thinking collectively as a Nigerian. It has gotten to a point that sometimes I've even lost hope, to be honest, about Nigeria, because when I listen to a lot of people talking, I just feel it's pointless. We are not going to change.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. We are now rounding up. Oh, somebody else just joined. Let me just get the view of this person. Jude, welcome to the show.
Yes, good morning. How's everybody doing?
We are good. Nice to see you. Where are you joining us from,
Dr.
Jude?
Damages. It's been a long time. I've been trying to join you guys, but I've not been able. I just got the link right now.
Oh, okay.
But I've been listening.
Good. So briefly tell us where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from California.
California. Okay.
United States.
Okay. So all of us here now, we are all abroad, and we stay outside and we look into what's happening in Nigeria. What is your take on the primaries, and who do you want to see emerge in APC and PDP?
Okay. For me as an individual, with anybody, for anyone to still be hoping for one Nigeria, the continued existence of one Nigeria, for me, I think that person is one of the problems of this country. Because hoping for one Nigeria, it means continuing the killings, the deaths in Nigeria. It means making Nigeria to continue to remain or even get worse than what it has been. It means continuing corruption. And, it means continue to institutionalize corruption, although it has been institutionalized, but continuing the furtherance of it. That is what I see in remaining one Nigeria. One Nigeria, if Nigeria remains one from here to 100 years, Nigeria will not go anywhere. With the kind of leadership we have, with the kind of constitution we have, with the kind of evil politicians we have, for me as an individual, now 2023 election, everybody should boycott it. If you really love Nigeria, they should break up. That person should be advocating to break up Nigeria so we can save lives. For instance, look at that man. Look at that man that was being interviewed. If leaders can in a broad daylight be lying to people, okay, bomb blast, kill a lot of people, and he's coming to tell us it's cylinder. I mean, come on now. That is just when people were there when it happened. People around there were happy and they all testified. And the government, as usual, coming to lie. And for it, by the way, how can anybody in this country, any learned person that has his right senses in this country, in Nigeria, still believe that any truth will come out of Nigerian leaders? How can somebody, is that person insane to believe truth can come out of Nigeria? Nigerian constituted, the government constituted a panel of inquiry for toll gate killing. Okay, the same inquiry they constituted came up with a report. They disbelieved their own report. They were the one that constituted. They were the one that elected people in that, and they believed their own report and call it a fake. How can people continue to believe these simple people? Okay, right. I am really pained about what is going on in Nigeria, and I see anybody still supporting the continuity of existence of one Nigeria as an enemy of the country. It's either that person is one of the people that is killing this country, that is raping and exploiting and looting Nigeria, or has an uncle or a brother or a sister that is part of the program that is, looting Nigeria. Everybody should be advocating for the breakup of that evil contraction called Nigeria.
All right, thank you.
What I expect everybody to advocate.
Thank you so much, Jude. Albert, you just joined us. Welcome to the show. Albert, can you hear me? Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So I hope you've been watching. Can you just tell us your view on the conversations we've been having? Keep in it a bit.
Yeah, I was able to listen to you guys. What was going on? What you guys was discussing about banning of Okada and who wants to become the next president for Nigeria?
Yeah, let's start from there. Albert, let's start from there. Albert,
to be frank with you, we have a lot of problems there. A lot.
Where are you, Albert? Can you start from
because of security reasons, I'm not able to tell you
okay, good.
My own where I'm coming from, the place I worked before. So I know them. I know all of them. There is no places I don't know in Nigeria. All the terrain in Nigeria I know there. So this one here we tell you where I work, and those people you see there, they are all criminals. They're after what they are going to eat. They are not after anybody there. Nobody's ready to do anything there to make that country great. The only person I was able to I see, I read him, I look at the way he talks, past Peter Obi. Every other one's there. The Osinbajo, who is a pastor, the Saraki, all those ones, Atiku, Baba Sokpe in Lagos, what's his name, Tinubu. All of them, they are all the same bed of feather. There is nothing they can do to make that country great, except the young ones wipe these people out before we can be able to make that country can be like where we are today. I'm Dr. Damage, I'm your neighbor. I did in America here, I did. They watch everything waiting they go on. Something make me run from Nigeria, come here. So, truth is very bitter in that land. And I see my brother Shore, he has been going from one place to another, They are trying to silence him, but he has something in his vision, he has something in his mind, that what he wants to do. But there is no way they can give him that chance to do it. They will not allow him to step to that place. What they did was to silence him by keeping him in one room, in Abuja, and said, oh, he's making a blah, blah. No. He has a vision. He has something in his head. Just the way like Peter Obi. Now, Peter Obi, I worked with Peter Obi in, I think, 2007. When he came from London, he's a businessman. He came from London without nobody. So I worked with him with one guy, which the guy is late now, but I don't want to mention his name. The way I see him, the way he was talking, without no escort, nothing. So I was like, who is this man? When he came back and go into politics, he lost a lot of money because he came to politics. For his business, he couldn't be able to continue his business. But what am I saying? Until we come to our right sense, we are the youth, and said, oh, let's try somebody who has like us, to make the country great. I see where police run up and down. They were running from Ojo, when those people went there to tell them that you guys need to evacuate the place because that market is like, did you see the place how it look like? How can a human being be living that kind of place and you said you are doing a business in that market in Ojo? There's so many places like that in Nigeria. So all we need is just to, all those old cargoes, we need to silence their mouth, let them just go away and give the youth a chance. That's what we need. We can't just be hanging here in America or in London in Australia, in different places, we say we want to make our country great. Let us go there, go and use that PVC and wipe this old man out. That's the only thing that we can do. You know, I know, but our noise here casually can make a lot of head over there. You know. Anyway, this is my first time joining the show. I may reserve some of my comments, you know, some of the things I know, but let me still keep it watching and see what is actually going to happen. And I believe whatever the political party, whoever they are calling their names, they are all the same thing, whether PDP or APC, they are one. Everyone who left the PDP, they are the one in the APC. Those who left APC, they are in the PDP. So what are they going to tell us? What do they have in their vision? That country is totally dead. It's dead. It's dead. So he just did. You can't even travel from Lagos to Benin, where I'm from, and those states where I came from. You cannot travel down there. You know, before you get from Ore, you're allowed to go. You know? So anyway, let's just continue watching and be praying to our country and see what is going to happen with the next election.
All right.
But yeah, I always advise your brothers, if they don't vote for Showore or vote for Peter Obi, they shouldn't vote for any other person. That is the only thing I need. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. We're totally out of time, but I have Mustafa joining us. Prince Mustafa, welcome to the show. I will come around after Mustafa to get the question I asked at the end of the show. What's keeping you up at night? So, Mustafa, where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Canada.
From Canada, okay. So, yeah, I hope you've been watching Nigeria, and I want to get your view on who do you want to emerge as the candidate for president for the two major parties, the APC and the PDP?
For the APC, I have no one to say about that, but for the PDP, because I really wish and hope that the PDP gets the next run. And for the PDP, I'm hoping for Peter Obi to emerge as the president. And my fear is he will not be able to emerge as the next president because there are too many things around him that are trying to pull him down to get that. Okay, so my take on this is, I know some people might not agree with me, but if Wike, Governor Wike, and especially Atiku Abubakar, if they can step down from their presidential nominations and endorse Peter Obi, once both of them do that, I believe Peter Obi will emerge as the next president. Because I really need ex-president Atiku Abubakar to step down and endorse Peter Obi, because it's going to be a game changer, especially in the North.
How is it going to be a game changer? Let us know. Talk to our viewers. How do you think it's going to be a game changer?
For someone like Atiku, that he's in between and he's not going to win anything. But when he comes out and gets off his nomination of his presidential aspiration and nominate Peter Obi, because right now the best candidate is Peter Obi.
Yeah, what I mean is, why will Peter Obi be a game changer for the country? That's what I want to understand, and maybe our viewers too.
Okay, now Peter Obi will be the best to me personally, is because he likes to change things without distributing funds and spending money unnecessarily. Like, funds go to where they're supposed to be used. Taxpayers' money goes to where they're supposed to be used. And not giving money or bribing, or, like, you know what I'm trying to say, we're all Nigerians, right?
Yes.
No, and money goes to a certain development where it's supposed to be used for, and is used for that. There's accountability. It has to be accounted for. A lot of people will not like that because there's not going to be money in their pocket. And my belief is for him to emerge in the primaries as the PDP front runner. I hope, well, it's not going to happen, but I wish it happens. I hope somebody like Atiku Abubakar can step down and endorse him. Because once they do that, or even Wike, but I want Atiku to endorse him, so Peter Obi will emerge in the PDP running party. But it will be at a cost, for sure. It will be at a cost.
All right, thank you so much for that contribution.
Thank you, Dr. Zamaje. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll go around and I will find out from you in 30 seconds what's keeping you up at night. Matthias, let me start with you. You have to mute it. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'm unmuted. Okay, thank you. What keeps me at night? Oh, will I ever go or will I ever see the country of my dreams before I die? Nigeria of our dream is what my father lived for and died. He didn't say it. And the ancestors before him, they fought with their blood and everything, gave it all to wave off colonialism so that they will be able to see Nigeria of our dreams. But every day it seems like our best days is behind, is past because of the way the trajectory of movement of things going in Nigeria. I grew up in the east and in the northern part of Nigeria. I knew when government used to come drop palliatives for children, milk, as we see here in the UK during the pandemic. We see that for children, those that have children, government come to drop things for them, all this canned beef and all this thing for children, and milk for children to grow and develop their teeth properly. It got to a point where the food and everything was taken away from schools, and even today, the school is free of education because there's nothing to teach anybody there. If your child does not attend private primary school or secondary school in Nigeria today, that child does not have a formal education, and the thing continue going down the drain every day. So my question: anytime I wake up in the night, will I ever see the Nigeria of my dream? Will my children will ever be able to say, I want to go back to my father's land? Anytime they turn to the television, all they see is somebody has been killed or burned or robbers killing somebody or something. And I have children that are above 10 years old, so they watch this. How do I convince them, let us go back home for holidays without this fear resonating in their mind? These are the things that keep me awake at night. And when we get good leaders, I think that can be turned around.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But still, what's keeping you up at night? You can unmute yourself. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, my brother, I don't know. I needed to have more time to tell you what is keeping me up at night. I don't know this one you are giving me
30 seconds.
If you give me enough time to express what is actually keeping me.
Just pick one. Tomorrow, to next time we talk about the other ones. Next week. Pick one.
Let me try and see how far I will go. What is keeping me up at night is the possibility that what we are seeing is now I would say it's now a tip of the iceberg from what this Buhari administration is planning. And we are seeing it. Let me tell you one thing. Some of us who have a little bit of information of what is going on, you wonder why almost 30 or 20 something number of people took form for presidential election or presidential candidate in APC. It's still unfolding. But let that not bother me now. Let everybody see what is going to be. But if at any time it happens that there is a true election and a good man emerges, yeah, like I said, Peter Obi or Saraki, I strongly believe in these two because they have shown a bit that they are true to national development. But the worst we are going to see is that there are people who have decided not to make Nigeria work. They might still be there and make it impossible for them to even govern right. That being said, my take on it will be, if it is possible, let Nigeria divide into regional governance to give us a little bit of hope for our unborn generation.
All right, Basil, I have to stop you. Thank you so much. Let me come to you, Kayode. I know you've been with us for a long time. What's keeping you up at night?
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. Well, and because I may not have the opportunity to talk again after now, because we are rounding off.
We're rounding off, yeah.
Let me use this medium to thank you wholeheartedly again for bringing this forum up for us to discuss about Nigeria. So may God bless you the more, sir.
This position.
Having said that, I want to say something clearly, that I don't want us as meaningful Nigerians to continue to engage in blame game. Are you getting me?
Mm-hmm.
Because what I see we do most is to just blame the leaders, blame everybody, but on our own part, it isn't high time that we also woke up and think of something that is more directional to offer as solutions to the lingering problem in our fatherland. Because I can see the passion everybody has been speaking. I can see the emotions with which everybody has been speaking, but it is not going to take us anywhere. Somebody just said that we should go back to Nigeria. I think it was Albert who said we should all leave America or Canada or where we are. That is not going to happen, because everybody here came here for one reason or the other, maybe insecurity, maybe for family issue. So how do you now want that person or those people to now go back to the country and go and die or do what? It's not going to happen. What I will expect is that we should also form a movement, a revolutionary movement from here, either through, how will I put it? Either through journalism or through, something that can have effect back home. When these our former leaders in the 60s or the 50s were fighting for independence, Alpha Ikoku and Co., most of them were not in Nigeria. Are you getting what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The fact that we are not in the country does not mean that we cannot still do something that will have meaningful impact in that country. Rather than engaging in blame game, let us come together, whether we like it or not. Even if we say Nigeria should break, it has not broken now. And even if it's going to break, it is not this blame game that is going to make it to break. Look at what Sunday Igboho did. Look at how they brought the guy down. If anybody also stands up tomorrow now, because of their ambition, they have the power, they have the money, they have everything, they will still bring that person down. The youth that we are clamoring that they should stand up and fight, they are not ready, because the elites, the money bags, these stupid politicians have bought them over. And because they are hungry, they will always want to take this money and keep quiet.
All right.
So my own conclusion is that let us start something, maybe a movement that something similar to what those people of yesteryears did to fight for our independence and wrestle power from these people. It is possible. And that is what is keeping me wake up at night.
All right. Thank you so much for that input. Fabian, what's keeping you up at night? Can you make it brief so that we can go around quickly and round up the show?
Well, thank you, Dr. Damages. Yeah, what keeps me up at night for Nigeria, in terms of Nigeria as a country, I would just say, hoping for the day that we will kind of have a regional or kind of a different countries where everybody will thrive. Because I think that's one thing we need. It will kind of breed competition and stir people up to start thinking of how we will move forward. If we continue with this system, we're not going anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Jude, let me come to you. What's keeping you up at night?
Honestly, there are so many things about that country that keeps me up at night, that worries me every day. Especially top on the list is the killings. The killings that goes on in Nigeria every day, and how that almost every Nigerian have become insensitive, have become numb about the deaths. When somebody dies, everybody will talk, blah, 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 and then 2-3 days, everybody continue their business as usual. What kind of country people have we become? No empathy anymore. No sense of brotherhood anymore. As long as it doesn't happen to you, nobody cares anymore. How have we come? Well, I mean, how have we come up to this stage that we don't even care about one another anymore? It's all about us, and that is the spirit that has held this country and that country called Nigeria to where it is now. That has put it on a precipice. That Nigeria is fast nosediving, and my prayer is that Nigeria will crash and break in pieces. Everybody go their way, because I have seen it that Nigerians don't even reason like normal human beings again, but even the so-called educated. Otherwise, how can any normal human being still be thinking that election will correct all this nonsense that is going on?
I'd wonder.
Even if you like, bring an angel to Nigeria, and that angel can never do anything as long as it is the same situation, is the same constitution we are running. And how can any normal human being believe that Buhari, the Fulanis, will give up power come 2023? I mean, it's so absurd for anybody to think like that. I am sorry to say this. That is the truth. But since we cannot see the handwriting on the wall and we are still sitting down thinking of who is going to be the next candidate in 2023, good luck. But for me, I am for total breakage of Nigeria. Let everybody go their way and let us start from scratch. The individual, the constituent part, that broke up part, will start from the scratch with a good constitution that will direct us on the way to go, how to elect leaders. So that at the end of the day, we won't have any of this thing happening in Nigeria, happening in the new country that will emerge. That is my prayer. And until we see this, all of us, both home and abroad, that comes in a panel, until we see that Nigeria can never be salvaged, until we see this, we are going nowhere. We are just all this effort is just it's just an effort in futility.
All right, thank you so much. I will let Mustafa have the final say, but before then, let me go to there's somebody that joined us. We've not heard from him. Another one. I want to know what's keeping you up at night, but also if you can use that chance to talk about yeah. Where are you joining us from? What's your real name?
I'm reaching you from a part of Europe here. Precisely, let me just eat that particular location.
Okay, good.
Europe to be precise.
Okay.
I'm privileged to speak with you today, Dr. Damages. I'm one of your fans for this part of local government. But meanwhile, what keeps me up at night, if I sleepless nights, is the rate to which Nigeria died. The rate to which Nigeria killed Nigeria daily, and it is no meaning to anybody. It is no meaning to anybody at any level. And I see it as when the love died, hatred thrived. Love for each other has gone, in fact, has gone for untimely fury. To be precise, and when something went for an holiday that you cannot even determine when it will return, the love has gone on strike, on greatest strike. That
who killed the love? When did it die?
Who killed the love? Should we point a finger this time around? Because Nigeria problem has actually it's like a tree that has its different branches. I cannot be an hypocrite and the same time we pointed the blame on a government or on a particular individual. I will say this thing is spread across board. Because at the end of the day, if you look at the recent killing of late Deborah, when that event occurred, the first thing that came to my mind when I see different blasting, that religion, this thing, so it's beyond this particular thing that just occurred. It's across board. Because believe me, my elders, you guys are advanced more than me. I'm a young guy. You must have seen this clearly. If you disagree with idea or activities of somebody in a very powerful status in Nigeria, the followers will come after you in any level, either political, religious, in every sector, even in traditional institute, they will come after you. As a Yoruba boy who grew up in Benin, I'm saying this in reality. This is what I know about. So it's beyond one particular religion just doing what they like. It's across board. And it baffles me when government silent and even the citizen, they all silent. 1 week, 3 days, another chapter. This another one I'm answering here is a result of Nigeria. Another one means that one day with different story.
Yeah.
Today is weekend now. By on Monday, another breaking news will come up. I'm telling you. The one that occurred last week has gone by. New one will start again.
Yeah, thank you.
That is Nigeria of today for you.
Thank you. Another
so,
one.
Talking about the next election, sir, let me just go there. The next election that is coming up, it will be as the same as before. Simple as ABC.
Okay, thank you so much. Mustafa, stand by. You round up for us, but Comrade Chidi just joined. You are the last person I will let in, and we have to go. Chidi, I know you've been trying to join and you wanted to say something. Go ahead, please. Tell us where you're joining us from, and then your comment.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't really know what the conversations are, but I'm a pure nationalist. I like to make my contributions. Whenever I'm browsing through the net and I come across a conversation of this nature, I like to make my input.
Okay.
I'm actually not really. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you make it 30 seconds? Your contribution. We're talking about the upcoming primaries in
so
Nigeria.
That means I know you. Okay. Well, it's a combination of different factors. A lot of things, are coming into place. But obviously, it appears that all effort to make things work is all ending up in futility. So if we are saying, okay, we want to fix Nigeria, I think a lot of factors have to come into place here. For me, I think I'm done. I started this struggle with the likes of Shore back days in Unilag, and I knew what we did. But it appears that nothing is working. Everybody has run away. So if we're saying we're coming back to make things happen, it does, because we try to organize different forums, seminars, symposium, workshops, and lectures, try to conscientize people. But it looks like even at the end of the day, nothing appears to work. So I am sorry, I may not really gather my thoughts together to make a comprehensive input analysis, because it's just like a fictitious.
Hold on. You said that things didn't work. Whose fault is it? Is it that you failed because you said you're a nationalist, you worked on this? Is it that you failed or that somebody else failed? What happened?
So see, leadership is all about followership. You try to, some of us have been in the forefront trying to champion this cause. We try to do a lot of conscientization, and we find out that these politicians, because they are all, they are all working together. So they put resources together, try to exploit people, and they leverage on those resources they have gathered over time, using it as a tool to intimidate and suppress the downtrodden. So sometimes it's a 50-50 thing. Even those who are trying, see, there's a popular saying that says, those who are looking for a way out are still in the dark, as long as they have rejected those who are holding the light. So if I come today, sacrifice everything, and say, okay, let me be in the forefront to champion this struggle, and all I need is just for you to follow, and you're still looking back and say, okay, what am I going to eat? How am I going to, where am I going to have? Like, am I going to be empty stomach? Can I do this with empty stomach? We understand it's not easy. But honestly, sometimes it is better. It is better to die for something than living for nothing. So until we get to that point, it is going to take a long. It's going to take a long time. It's not really easy. People have to make a lot of sacrifice. I don't want to take too much of your time, but this is just a preamble of where I'm coming from. It's really not easy. You know, sometimes I look back. I know somebody like Sowore. I know somebody like Comrade Ayo Adewale. These are the people that I followed, and I know the basis. I know what we did in the time past. And everything seems to have been twisted. Nothing is just not working. And sometimes, even if I want to blame the masses, sometimes I try to absorb them because it's not really easy. There is this divide and rule system. There's this massive exploitation and suppression of the downtrodden that even sometimes they don't have choice. We understand that. So it's going to take a lot. It's going to take, all hands has to be on deck. That is why, like now, having lecture, I'm doing some online class, but I come across this and I say, okay, I've been trying to do stuff like this. I thought, okay, maybe I will start operating from this dimension and see how we can pull, especially clear-headed species, people who are ready to be from to champion. Let's see how we can gather, talk, and devise a strategy. Be the same game. These people are gathering together, recycling.
All right.
And nothing is going to happen. I don't want you to come here and say, okay, you are trying to deploy a strategy on how to dislodge these people. It's not going to work. Except you come up.
All right, Comrade Chidi, thank you so much. I encourage you to join us in other shows.
Okay.
We meet on Saturdays and on Wednesdays, and we want to hear your views on what should be done. Because I'm always of the opinion that the people, the articles, and all these characters in the news, in the national politics, they are doing their job. They're doing their thing. They're doing that's their goal. That's their mission. Those who oppose them should do their own too, and try to stop them. That's all it takes. It may be difficult now, but you have to fight for it. Countries in the world that made any improvement in their situation, people stood up and said, "This is what we wanted." All right, Mustafa, round up for us. You have to mute yourself, Mustafa. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Rudolph. I'm going to make it quick. I know we don't have much time right now. First of all, I want to say something about that point of dividing Nigeria will never happen. The soul is bitter, but it will never happen because there are external forces that want to keep Nigeria together. And if we have to go back to the Civil War, there's a reason Nigeria won that war against Biafra, because they had external forces that was able to back them up. And the same external forces are still backing Nigeria right now. And even if we decide to separate as a country, it's not going to stop the problem. Because when we disintegrate, around the south, they're going to be fighting amongst themselves. Around the north, they're going to be fighting amongst themselves. So that's not going to work. So I just wanted to say that. Now, your question is, what keeps me up at night? What keeps me up at night is this. Back in the day, I used to think it that the politicians are a problem. But in today's world, I believe the youth and the citizens are our problem right now, because they're all waiting for manna to fall from heaven. Nobody's ready to help themselves go to the next level. So that really stresses me that the generation we have now are not ready.
You're playing too rough with him, and he's going to hurt you.
So the generation right now is not ready to stand for what they want and what they can command. But they keep on blaming the politicians and the politicians. And these are politicians that have raped us and recycled themselves for years and decades. But it's out there, we can see it as but because they are waiting for manna to fall from heaven. So that keeps me up at night, just to keep it short and sweet.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to thank Matthias. Matthias, thank you so much for joining us. Fabian, we want to thank you for joining us. Kayode, thank you for joining us. Another one, hopefully you join us another day and you let us know where you are in Europe. Prince Mustafa, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, Jude, thank you so much. Before all of you joined, there were so many people who were part of this conversation. We want to thank them, and we appreciate your time. We know that nobody gets paid for this, and we care about what's going on in our country. That's why we do this every few days. I appreciate all your time. I hope you join us next Wednesday. We do one for people who are abroad. We also let people in Nigeria contribute. And then on Saturdays, we talk about politics. And of course, tomorrow on 90 Minutes Africa, which I'm part of the host, we have Dele Momodu. He will join us and he will have to answer questions about why he wants to be president. That's it for today. I really appreciate your time and hopefully you will join us next time. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Rufus. Thank you. Thank everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
God's grace. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.